Hey guys, how's everyone doing? It's good to see you all. Thought I'd hello. How you doing, Goldie? Good to see you in the YouTube chat. Vegas, good to see you bright and early when the stream starts as always. I get the impression you're actually here all the time. Like all the time. Vegas, when I was testing, guys, I was working on the little chat a bit in between. Dude, Jess, I love your StarCraft 2 profile picture, by the way. When I was testing this chat feature, because I've improved it, guys, I was doing that little bit of, I had a bit of free time, and I thought, I'd do it, and I couldn't be bothered doing it on stream because the time was bad, and I have to start to be a little bit more conscious of how loud I am after hours, guys. I know I stream like super late. So yeah, my plan is to not do that quite so much. And so I was like, I really want to work on this thing. So I did. And I got it finished. I think, yeah, I got it finished. I'm going to say it's finished. We might circle back to it sometime in the future, but all right, ready? Boom. Check out the chat. Check out the chat right here. Oh, hold on. Right there. Look at that, guys. So now as I'm working away, you're gonna have some cool little like chat messages coming up around the bottom. And hold up, because I should have still checked this before starting, but my stream elements is my stream deck, not working. Connecting that. Are we back? Are we live with the stream deck? Maybe I need to open that tool. This is why we have warm-up time, guys. All right, I think it's working now. Now I can do the switching. Yes, good. We're good. How's everyone doing? The little chat in the bottom is nice, right? I like it. That's the advantage, guys, of having your own, like, the master of your own domain. Welcome to Computer Land, where we can do all of the things that we want to do. That's just what happens when you know how to, like, work computers. So, yeah. I'm still dialing a lot of stuff in, but like you'll notice this. Fass is giving me more hand-me-downs, guys. She's given me another light, which I think might be too much light, potentially. That becomes a bit washed out. So, yep. Yeah, emote integration still to come. Yeah, we haven't done, that's also what happens when you build everything yourself, Jess, is like when you build everything yourself, you have to do everything yourself. So we can integrate with the chat, but that doesn't mean we know how to convert it into like emotes. So that's a backlog task, just like Jess says, it's definitely a backlog task. So it is the same microphone as we always had, but now it has a cover. So it's got this like cover here, and it's got an arm so that I don't have to like, one thing I think I needed to do during streams, guys, was like, I needed to be fairly, I needed to raise my voice to get the microphone to pick it up. And also just like psychologically, you want to be a pop filter. Exactly, Goldie. And hey, is that Stray? I see we've got some, Combat Wombat, welcome back to the stream, dude. Good to see you, man. Yeah, we've got a pop filter. So that should mean that, like, just the quality of the sound should be way better. And on a psychological level, it's not so bad to have this microphone here. If it's like further back, I feel like I need to raise my voice potentially in order to be heard. But yeah, Stray, welcome, man, welcome. I love your profile picture, dude. Like, this is the coolest thing. I'm starting to get to so much of your personality comes through your profile picture, and I'm this like really visual guy, and so now I can like have this chat where it's a lot more personal, and we could all kind of like look at what's happening in a easy to understand way. You made it yourself? You mean your profile picture? Dude, that's sick. It's got what's the vibes? It's got like that Scarface vibes to me. It's quite cool. Seeing profile pics is interesting, right? Eightfold, how you doing? And seeing who doesn't have a profile picture is also cool. Like Riven, how you doing, Riven? Like Riven joined the chat. Did you see how it was gray for a moment and then it resolved into an image? So it's like we've got our own little cache support working for this as well. so we can cache the images, and we can draw them in. So like, the reason, I don't know why nobody else has done this. I think because the chat message system and the profile picture system are completely different systems. And so for some reason, people just have like trouble connecting those dots. So I thought, you know what, I'll just connect those dots when I implement our system. And now you guys all have profile pictures, and I'm going to be able to like a lot more quickly get to recognize you. Tricky Mickey, how you doing? And also like Tricky Mickey's got a sick profile picture too. I can like, I'm not a particularly visual, like I'm a very visual person. I'm not a particularly like, I don't know, like when I look at code, for instance, guys, I see the shape of the code more than I see the specific lines. And, you know, people often refer to it as a code smell. Code can smell a certain way when you look at it, if that makes any sense. It's funny. It's like this neural net you've trained in your own brain as you look at the content enough. If you look at stuff enough, you start to create associations between like patterns that are good code and bad code. And for me, it's the same when I read chat messages. Sup Sly, how you doing? I'm definitely not the coolest sibling. I am the more nerdy, far more nerdy, less cool sibling with a less sense of style. She got all the great genes, that one. I got all the genes for like sitting my butt in front of a computer and thinking, and she got all the great sense of fashion and sense of humor stuff. All the good genes went to the not the coolest sibling. I'm really good. I'm really good, guys. Thank you for asking, Stray. I actually really do need icons, don't I, guys? I have to get emote support. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work if I don't. You pissed me off. You never format your code. Yeah, 100%. Luckily, there are linters for that. Like, you guys will notice a lot of times I'll write code and then I'll go, I think in writer it's Control K, and you hold Control and you go F. So you go Control K F, and it just auto formats the language. There are languages like, which is it? I think it's Go. Go has like linting built into it, like built right into the language. You're not allowed to write code that doesn't format like in the way that they want. I think opinionated code is really, really good. But all of this is a big tangent, essentially a way for me to say, like, I like looking and reading something and seeing it. Dude, Tricky Mickey, thank you, man, for the cheer. I appreciate that. You just cheered with 1, 2, 3, 4 bits. That's a huge cheer. In fact, that might be the biggest cheer we've ever freaking had in this stream, if I'm not mistaken. That's massive, dude. Thank you. I think it is. I can't remember anybody going over 1,000 bits for a cheer. That's huge. Opinionated code is fine, but I want it to be an opinion. Sly, yes. Penny, if Penny's around, Penny ended up getting us the feeder. Penny got us the animal feeder. So it's just a matter of waiting for it to get here in the mail, and then we can hack it and we can get it ready for dev stream, and that's going to be so much freaking fun, guys. I cannot wait to do that. I'm going to use the thing from the cooking stream. You know how on the cooking stream we had a multi-camera setup? While I develop that for testing, I'm going to have a second camera looking at the feeder in like a little floating window. Like, oh, I'm hesitant to jump across the cooking stream because I don't know what it's. No, I can't because it's not set up to go. But yeah, so that's on its way, and then we're going to connect it to Twitch so that when you guys sub to dev, it'll spit out some, you know, if you sub with the right number of subs, it's going to spit out some treats for dev. So I think that's such a cool project. I can't wait. But this also means I need to like fix all of the, I don't want to start a new project, even though I don't think it's as big a project as like the AI swear jar. I want to finish off all the old projects before jumping onto a new one. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you, Combat Wombat, about, I think it was you who said, opinionated code is good, but you know, it should just be an opinion. I've been on projects where like you could look at code and you can tell from the way that it was written who wrote it, and I think that's really bad for a project. A project shouldn't have like this person's area of code where all of their nuances and styles like find their way into what's written. I think opinionated code is good. I think it ought to be the case that the project, through its tools, enforces the way that code's written. And so that's definitely how I feel about that. And I know that's like controversial, but I mod the channel and it has And has the pet feed activated any bits, Sly? Okay, hold on, Sly. I was trying to let you know in the fast stream the other day, I mod a channel that has a pet feeder activated by bits. Dang it! We're not the first people to do it. That's annoying. I thought we were being original. It's impossible to be original these days. Whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway. We're just doing it. It's on its way. I think I've done the research. I know how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, good catch, Goldie. Good catch. I actually did. I did make the names customizable. I did this here. Look. Good. Oh man, nothing gets by you. Nothing gets by you, Goldie. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this before I forget about it. But the chat's moving fast, as you can see. I'm leaving a few messages behind, and I don't want to do that. All right. You know what? I'm already learning something about our UI here. It's too condensed. This text, although it's nice to have it like large in this way, I think we're gonna have to change its size. So luckily we did this. Here, we created a parameter here that supports zoom levels. I'm gonna try just like changing this to 2 and we'll fit more in with it. So let me head back to chat. All right, there we go. Now we can see more chat messages all at once because that was too much. I couldn't keep up with reading. So yeah, this is way better. It doesn't make as much use of space. No, hold on, we can do better. 250, somewhere in between those two. 250, there we go. And yes, so many messages to catch on. So many freaking messages to catch up on. Let me try and just quickly do that because people have been saying things and I don't want to leave too many important things behind. I prefer that everything looks like it's written by the same person and you should have tools to enforce it, but the language shouldn't. I actually, yeah, I mean, we can agree to disagree on this one, Wombat, because ideally, like, the more deviation you have from a standard, the more different standards you're going to get. And I think I'd rather more constraints than more freedom when the ultimate result is completely aesthetic. When it comes down to aesthetics, I would rather there be standardization than too much freedom. Constraints can be liberating in their own way as well, you know? I think it's better to work within clear constraints when it comes to like code and style. But that's just my 2 cents. And I know that that's just an opinion, totally just an opinion. But I think it's good to be on projects where people are opinionated about the way that the code is written. And even if it's like not the way, I would rather do it somebody else's way than do it my own way and have it like be 100% right. I'd rather have it be something different from what I prefer, but have it be consistent. Consistency is preferable in code bases, in my opinion. Change the pet feeder to a flamethrower. Stray, we were talking about a smoke machine, but the smoke machine is just like a lot larger investment and like who knows what can go wrong with it. We're going to start simple and we'll take it from there. So, I mean, no smoke without fire, they say, but I think smoke machines are the exception. And if the smoke machine works and the dog feeder works, maybe we can talk to Dev about a flamethrower, but I don't think she's going to want to do it. I don't think she's going to want to do it, guys. You're going to have to set some crazy sub goal for a flamethrower. But, so yeah, the custom names on screen. Let's circle back to that. But before that, Blake, you've got, if you finish your projects, how do you create technical debt for the highest efficiency? No, we're going to finish them all. We're going to finish them all. Change it to 25 so we get a free eye test. No, I like them nice and large. I really want everybody to have a read of these things. But I also need to catch up, so I'm going to scroll forward. All right, where are we at? Sly, yeah, I have access to the most amazing bamboo 3D printers back at my office. And we also have access to a CNC router. I actually designed the control software for a CNC router. It was really, really cool. It's the Fabric CNC router, and we used a bunch of open source tools and a bunch of other stuff to write UI that allowed you to like customize your cutting paths and stuff. It was really, really cool. But yeah, that CNC router is still in my office at work. I really need to put that on the website, but the company went under, so you can't really like research them anymore. Or more, they shelved their product. But yeah, so very, very smart of you to pick that up, by the way, Goldie. What I did is the people who I see here all the freaking time, I figure people have to choose their Twitch names in a way where it's like, if Riven wanted to get Riven, or Sly wanted to get the name Sly, or Math wanted to get the name Math, it's just next to impossible because there are so many Twitch accounts. Like, do you know how many different account names I had to go through before I settled on base code? I probably even still have it. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Let me pull this up if I still have it. You know what? I probably don't. It's probably in a different account, but I probably went through like 100 different names that I thought were really good before I landed on base code because I wanted a really nice and simple name. It's so hard to do it. And things like Goldie, if you wanted to be called Goldie, you can't do it. But you know what we can freaking do? Now that we're making our own damn chat client, we can just map. Here we go. Where is it? Where is it? Names. Boom. Name state. Let me show you what I did. I call you guys by your nicknames anyway, so why not just do this? Just do this. Easy solution. If the username is Goldie1000, I'm just going to use my nickname Goldie. If I say sup on the chat, we can just have it say Seb because we can map from the Twitch name to the real name. We don't need to mess around with all that other stuff. We can we're all friends here. I have nicknames for you guys anyway. I may as well go and be like, all right, this is what I call all of you guys when I come into the stream. You all have nicknames that I don't call you Mongo Cabbage every time. I just say Cabbage, right? So now we've just mapped it across. It's a way better experience, and I don't have to do the mental mapping in my brain to convert from your names. Exactly. It's our own dictionary of it's a dictionary lookup. Same. I thought you would have a MongoDB. Dude, in this project, I've got so little in the way of databases. I've kept the data incredibly simple, really, really simple. It's all just CSVs written to disk at this point. We can get more sophisticated because we've put it behind an abstraction layer for the data. But at the same time, why make it more complicated than it needs to be? So yeah. Mongo Cabbage is Mongo. All right, you want me to, hold on, we can change that. Let's see. Mongo Cabbage is Mongo, not Cabbage. Done. Changed for all future reference. From henceforth, he shall be named Mongo. So yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I just did my name change a month ago. Just wanted a simple name and everything is taken. Well, you know what? Tom? It doesn't get any simpler than Tom. You are now in this stream forever. You will be Tom, and I will read your name and I'll say, "Hey Tom, how you doing?" Because we have our own custom system that's better than the other ones that we can use to do whatever the frick we want. So yeah, there's so many. Hold on, where's Strays? Because Strays on this list. It didn't convert for him. How did that get missed? Sorry, Stray. We're putting it in right now. Stray, CITIZENEMPIRE gets to be Stray for next stream. Might have spelled it wrong. What did I? Yeah, no, I probably did. I did a lot of thinking through who's here all the time, and for you too, Jess. Yep, we'll do you too. CHES. And maybe there's alts as well. Alt accounts. And I think what it'll be is when a person's here long enough and I recognize them and I have a nickname that I use for them, I'm just going to go and at that time, add them into our big dictionary. And eventually I'll make a user interface that lets us go and put custom names in. Vegas is another one. Where the hell is Vegas on this list? We're going to fix that now too. VEGAZ116 can just be Vegas. Vegas with an S too. You ever get Ronald McDonald? Hey man, Mr. Monkey Manor, dude, we did. I've had a few Ronald McDonald wins since we played TD. But welcome back, man. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? A_Pennyworth lol or what? Yeah, hold on. Where is... I mean, Penny definitely is in this list. Yeah, we've got Penny. We've got Penny. If Penny says something, you guys will see it's Penny's name. But yeah, so I did a little fiddling around where I changed the names and I gave you all like custom nicknames for the people who are here in the stream all the time. Shady saw your swear jar video. Play it, Shady? Did? Oh, that's awesome. Who shared that with her? A lot of people say that we need to go to her channel and tell her to use the swear jar because she swears a lot. So that's, yeah, okay. Goldie did? Goldie shared it. Yeah, I want a reaction to her reaction. It's shared in the Discord. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, let's go have a look. That was the plan for today, guys, to go have a work on, that. All right. Whereabouts can we find it? Is it just in general? Can't find it. But I'm sure... Imagine swearing, couldn't be me. Do you swear a little when you get frustrated coding Combat Wombat? That's like... It can be a good way to like, you let off some steam, but I think it's generally unhealthy. You guys probably notice I don't swear very much at all. You didn't... Okay, hold on. Oh, he said they shared it with Shady on her server. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for spreading the good word around, guys. Thank you for sharing that around. I really want more people to be aware of the projects we're doing here. I think it's so fun. Yeah, I don't swear much. I do a little, but it's rare, and it's something, it'll be like, you know, shit. I might say that if something really goes wrong sometimes, but in general, I'm just like not a person that does that. It's, yeah, I swear because my brain is wired to, yeah, years of frustration. Fair enough. You know what? It's really annoying me, Stray, that your name isn't one of the ones that has the nickname because you are so freaking active here. You're here all the time, and you definitely should. I think I gave up after like 70 different names of like common people, which is really like showing me how active this community is becoming. The fact that there's like 70 people that I recognize and I'm like, yeah, these guys are there all the time is nuts. And that somebody like Stray, after thinking that long, could skip the list goes to show how big we're getting. It's really cool, right? You like to trigger people without effort. I use the phrase damn it instead of going outright swears. Yeah, too. Look at pen could be a cool idea. We could make some changes. We could make name changes a channel point redeem. 100% we could do that. That's such a freaking good idea, Goalie. Oh. I need a task list or something. Hey, Goldie, you remember how Fass made that like idea forum in her Discord during her subathon? What do you think of something like that? We could probably do that. You can't remember everyone. I can remember like I'm to tell you the truth, guys, I'm like so bad with names usually. I'm really bad with names. But I am finding like for some reason being here, because everybody's got such interesting names when you're dealing with like, you know, Twitch and chat and that kind of thing, I'm having an easier time remembering them now. But yeah, she had that really cool forum, Goalie, where she let people make suggestions for her subathon. I think like that kind of thing could be like feature suggestions, and potentially we can set something up like she was saying people could vote on them. That could be a really cool way to like shortcut managing a backlog of ideas. Because there's some really cool ideas in this community that like often we don't get a chance to do, and things like bit redeems for name changes is awesome. But if I don't have some kind of like, if I don't have something where maybe we can get together and review all of the ideas at some point, maybe we can even just do it on a stream to figure out what people really want. No pressure, Goldie, but like that's a cool idea. I want to make sure that when people have good ideas like that they get heard, you know? It's is it possible to implement? Yes, yeah, it's 100% possible to implement custom colors math. I also think like top contributors to the community, we can make their names come up in like, you know, in different, like, you guys saw the swear jar that I made, right? Where it's got that really shiny, like, you know, it looked really fancy. The number one place was like super fancy. I just juiced it up using CSS. We can do that kind of thing for these names as well. We can make like, you know, we can make VIPs come up looking different, and we can do what we can do is endless. This is a thing, guys. Very often when I speak with customers about projects at work, like, because I often I'm dealing with, you know, managing customer expectations, managing like projects, managing the scope and the backlog. The thing I say, which is very true, is like, it, you know, they say, how, you know, is it possible to do X? And you kind of have to, and I use this phrase a lot. I say, like, you know, a better question to ask rather than is it possible is how long will it take? And that's the thing, is like all of the ideas that are coming through here, we could do them. We could do every damn one of them, but it's a matter of having a finite amount of time. So having a way to manage ideas, it, like another really good saying, guys, is it's not, you know, before you climb a ladder, make sure it's leaned against the right wall. Having a community forum of people's ideas that are ranked according to how much the community wants them means when we go and spend our time building features, that we're building the best features that we possibly can. You know, it's, you know, I think we may not necessarily do every idea that goes into that thing. There's that also a really great quote from, it's attributed to Henry Ford, and he said, like, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. Where it's like, yeah, sometimes we need to look at the ideas there and read between the lines, but I think just having a list of ideas will be a really, really handy thing to do. So mods show up as green and VIPs pink, and top supporters for the month probably a shade of gold. Yeah, that type of thing. And a VIP badge shows up for them too. Yeah, exactly. People don't always know. Yeah, they don't always necessarily know. They'll ask for the wrong solution, but you can, you know, you can, by listening to what people want, you can get a sense of what they want, so that you can see the real value that you can offer by doing something. I prefer the saying, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Absolutely, Penny. And in fact, it's like, the essence of strategy is not the things you choose to do, but the things which you don't. That one's a Steve jobs quote, where, you know, it's, like, since we're doing quotes, there's an Einstein one that says, like, a thing isn't, you know, a thing isn't finished where there's nothing left to add, but nothing left to remove. And so in some sense, like, choosing the right things to do and keeping it simple, that's a really good way to go through doing things as well. And that's as true for software development as anything else, right? And so we've got all these amazing ideas for things we could make in the community, but also, like, which ones should we do is a really important question, because we only have so much time. And so, yeah, the things that I think we need to do, I want to, you know, one of the worst things that happens in terms of wasting time is leaving incomplete tasks. And this is like a project management principle that I stick by too. It's like, it's more important to complete work in progress than to reduce the size of the total size of the backlog, right? Because the mean time to complete a task is, yeah, hold on, we can actually bring this up. This is something where there's a very good, like, diagram that explains this principle, right? Let me, so hold on. The mean time to complete a task, guys, is not the sum of the times, but in a sense, it's kind of like the average of them. So here's the principle in play. If a thing takes a certain amount of time, so say this is the time that it takes to do it, right? And you can only do one task at a time. What tends to happen if you do a task like this in serial, like in sequence, like that, is the point at which a task is done is right here. So right here, a task is done. Right here, a task is done. Where if you take these tasks and you split them up, let's say we split them like this, and we do them in, you know, we should be doing like this. Hold on. That's going to be blue. This is going to be yellow. This is going to be red. Say we take these tasks and we split them up. So instead of one task, hold on, yep. instead of one task like that, we say, okay, we're going to split this up into 2 tasks. What tends to happen is you pay a little bit of context switching penalty. So the total time it takes is longer if you switch from task to task. And we'll do the same for here. Maybe this one goes into 3. 3 to add up to the total. And then we've got this task where maybe that was broken into 2 again. If you go and you take these tasks and you split them up, if you switch from one task to another task, you get this penalty that happens where it's context switching. And that's kind of like the time that it takes to unload the idea from your brain and load a new idea into that, like, you have to like remember everything you were doing. You have to you almost like have to load all of the context for the task that you were doing. And so you play not only the context switching penalty, but here's the thing, right? The time at which it takes to complete that task, say we muddle the task up and we keep switching from thing to thing. Here's the interesting thing that people often overlook with this, right? The time that it took to do to complete the blue task in the, not only is the total time longer because you've got the context switching penalty, the time that it took to do this task is here. The time that it took to do the orange task, right? It's actually here. The time that it took to do the red task is where it's there on the top row. It's actually here on the bottom row, right? And so not only do you take a longer time total to do it if you switch from thing to thing, but there's this other kind of hidden penalty that people often completely overlook, which is this. The mean time to do a given thing is the time, like this duration, and then it's this, and then it's this duration, and then it's this duration here. So that's the total time, where this one, the time that it took to do is this duration. The time that it took to do this task in terms of completion time is that duration. And the time that it took to do the red task in terms of time is that duration. If you then go and take the time to complete, like that is actually the length of time that took to complete. But with this task, you get this phenomenon where you have to then go stack the completion time like this. So the mean time to complete tasks, ironically, when you just shuffle the order, like it's the average of those, right? From start to end. That's the really interesting thing. So this is the big penalty that we have if we get distracted and we go from project to project to project to project, is that like, yeah, I as much as we can, we'll have to switch to do things for faster subathon and whatever. But I want to try and like stay focused on a task. And so what happened was like, right now, if this is our swear jar, and the subathon tool was like, these are the subathon tools, we're actually taking a really, really, really long time to do our swear jar, unfortunately, because we're stuck way back. We're stuck way back here. So the plan today is to get back in and complete the swear jar, because we're actually making really good progress on it. We're making really, really good progress on the swear jar until we swapped. So sorry for rambling there a little bit. I know you guys are all saying stuff and I want to like circle back and make sure I get your messages. Yeah, so just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And planning the sequence of the work which you do and not getting distracted can really have a big effect on productivity when you consider productivity in terms of value delivered over time. Because most of the time, the value delivered for something is 100% at the end of the project, at the end of the completion of the task. Do I use Jira? Mr. Monkey, I use Flow. So Flow is my own project management tool like Jira that I wrote from the ground up. And we're going to be modifying and extending that in this stream somewhere down the line. Unfortunately, I haven't brought it up on stream yet because right now it's in use in my business. So I wrote it for my business to manage all the many projects and staff that it has. But I'm a programmer, and when the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. And when, as a programmer trying to run a business, that means I'm you know, instead of using Jira and Hack and Plan and Azure DevOps and GitHub and all these different project management tools across all the different projects we have, I decided to centralize them and draw the information from all those different projects into one tool. At the moment, the working name for that tool is Flow. And I think it's the best piece of software I've ever written. So I really can't wait to show that to stream. And I also want to use that to manage our tasks, because we've got so many things to do, so many ideas to do in this stream. Jira integrates with Flow. Let me put it like that. And it integrates with a bunch of other stuff as well. It integrates with maybe like 10 different project management tools, but it treats those tools as data sources for task definitions. And then it treats the team's time and resourcing as a separate thing. And it also does cash flow forecasting based on the amount of hours that it'll take to do projects and the backlog estimates, and it helps manage the customer as well. So it's it's an all-inclusive, very handy tool. Which I can't wait to share with you guys once I take the time to just separate all my customer data for it and put it up online as probably a thing that we can use to manage the stream together. And eventually I'd like to sell that tool as well. So, Seb, I showed Nacho NTFY-SH. Is NTFI something like NTFS? Is SH something like SSH or shell scripts? Or actually, Fizz, you might have to enlighten me. You might have to show me as well. I know Nacho's a pretty switched on dude, so but I'm always keen to learn about new things. Maybe tell us what that is about, Fizz. Google, there's a dot in the middle. Okay. Not ntfy.sh. Okay. Let's do a bit of a Google for that. Trust you, Fizz. ntfy.sh. Let's see. It's an easy push system. Okay, I used to use Pushwoosh. Send, REST requests. That's cool. That's really cool, yeah. How handy. Seems to integrate with a lot of different stuff. Oh, dislike. There are free things that do this, Fizz. There are free things that do this without you having to pay anything or subscribe to anything. Pretty sure this one doesn't cost a cent. I don't want the cookies. None of the cookies. Off. But yeah, okay, maybe I'll check this out next time I need a push notification thing. So where are we at? I've never been on cloud infrastructure projects so long. I never needed to learn Azure DevOps. Stuck in the Microsoft. I mean, it's a good ecosystem. It's a good ecosystem. I think it's actually the best. I like it better than Jira by a large amount. I think the way that it manages tasks and projects is really, really nice. You've got to get into the hyper focus zone. Okay, Jess, I also need to do that. We're getting to 42 minutes and we've been talking a lot. So I'm really keen to... You're looking for your next gig, so maybe I'll be back in Excel soon. Hell yeah. Do you guys know that me and Castell created the Excel, the spreadsheet category on Twitch? And we kind of called it. I can't wait to actually go and do an Excel spreadsheet stream. That would be amazing, and use the category we created. So fun. All right. N8N for flows these days. Competitive spreadsheets are wild. You'll get some interesting category frogs. Yeah, no, I know, right? They are. I've seen some really cool stuff like that. They recently made it. There's an AI now that competes and succeeds with those competitions, on some of the hardest puzzles. I think that's really interesting. That's so cool. Thank you again, Tricky Mickey, for the bits. I'm just looking at my alerts and being like, oh, hell yeah. I really appreciate that, dude. It matters a lot to a stream like this, especially one so young, just getting off the ground. Your support really goes a long way. Thank you again for that. Before we move on and start coding, I wanted to circle back and say thank you so much for the cheer. It's much appreciated. And yeah, that put us over the 75% way of our bit goals, by the way, guys. That's, yeah. Sly, you think you know her? Yeah, she's incredibly intelligent, guys. Like, such a smart person. Like, she really goes under the radar with her intelligence. The amount of, like, I've met a lot of smart people, and I'd say she's way up the top of that list. So smart. Hey, Cypher, welcome, man. Yeah, absolutely. Ask me a tech question. We're about to get into coding, so this is probably a good moment to do it. Yeah, she's awesome, right, Sly? Shoot with your question, Cypher, and we'll answer that. And then after that, we'll jump into coding up our making some progress on our AI swear jar. That's the next task. Though if you spend too long writing the question, we might move on anyway. Hey, Machine, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. She is a very smart one. And good morning, bots. How are you? Good to see you here in the chat. Cool to see another profile picture. That's nice. We made this the other day. This whole system here for like doing chat. And also here, when we're working, we're going to have like cool messages down the bottom here. Though I'm noticing now there's a bit of an error with it. Are you guys seeing this? That good morning is getting cut off? That's unfortunate. The end of the message, I think there are too many messages, so it's good morning, just getting started too. That's cool. Yeah, it's getting a bit cramped there, unfortunately, and the end of the last message is getting cut off, which is the last thing we want. We actually want the... So, hold on. I've got so many messages. I can never stay on top of everything in my life, guys. There's too much. There's too much to do. Okay, here we go. Cypher's got his question. Let's have a quick look at that. I'm a fresher doing a non-tech world with tech profile. So I was wondering to go with AWS certificate. Are they worth it? Okay, I take that question to mean like you're getting into technology and starting to learn things. And is the AWS certificate worth it? My angle on this, Cypher, is that it depends on the kind of person you are. Are you an organic learner? Are you a person who can be self-motivated to learn? Or do you need constraints and goals in order to be successful in learning things? Because education and the education system can have its value if it sets a task for you and then leaves you to go and solve it. It like leads you to go and solve it in a way that you wouldn't otherwise. If it helps to have a person tell you to go learn this, go do that, go be in this particular context or situation, then yes, it can be worth it to go in, do a AWS certificate. On the other hand, I would say the best way to learn, regardless of the type of learner you are, is to get in and do it, right? You have to get in and just make something. Just go build something. It doesn't matter if you have the certification. I run a business and I look at lots of resumes and I don't care what certifications a person has. I care what they have made. What have you actually built? What did you ship and what contribution did you make to the project that went live? Build things and finish them. And that's the best way to learn. And so if going and doing an AWS certificate gives you a bit more of a head start where you learn skills that you need in order to go and create real projects, I say go and do it for that reason. But don't do it because you expect it to be some magic bullet that teaches you great things to learn. It's just going to set you goals and that force you to go and try things. So the short answer is like go try things and go learn things. And if doing a certificate helps you, is the catalyst for you doing that, then it's a great idea. But if you're just going to go and like do the coursework and think that the certificate itself is going to help you get a job, I think that's probably not going to be, depending on the kind of company that you apply to, it's probably not going to be the deciding factor. There are some really big companies where those type of certifications matter, but they're not the kind of places that I like to work in anyway, because they care more about qualifications than ability. And it's not a nice place to work where you can be less qualified but more competent and the qualifications matter, right? So normally you can get the company to pay you for your certificate. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Combat Wombat's right. Like if you find a good supportive workplace that encourages you to learn and they see the value in that certificate, then they'll pay for your certificate once you're on the job. But I'm guessing probably you want the certification in order to get a job in the first place if you're starting in your career. And so I don't think that there's not inherent value in the certificate. If anything, the certificate proves that you can apply yourself to learning something and see something through. That's where the value in that is. AWS Solution Architect Associate isn't bad, but don't pay for the training. They will give you free resources. Most of what you can learn, if you really want to learn, is free. Like most of the time. I took years to pay off my university degree, and honestly, the value that I got from it was the network that I built. It was the people I met, the friends that I made, the games that I created with them. That was where the value was. They're not paying, and I know for a fact this organization will be a career end for me. Okay. I mean, don't go to an organization that's going to be a career ender for you. Unless you mean like that'll be the last job you ever need, in which case, great. If you're into that type of thing. Okay. I'm only doing certs at this company because the customers we have care about certs. Yeah, and the company pays. That's another really good reason to do it. But at the same time, like, hopefully you learn something, Combat Wombat. Otherwise, like, yeah. Any tech stack you would recommend? I was hoping to go in Java full stack. Depends what you want to build, Cypher. You have to... a lot of people ask this question, and the answer always depends on what you want to create. Because you choose the right tool for the job. And the tech stack is really... it's the solution to a problem. And without knowing what your problem is, it's hard to know what the right solution is. You're currently doing a job. Okay, Cypher. And the job wants you to do the certificate, I'm guessing. Yeah, Jess has said the same thing. The tech stack depends on the area that you want to work in. Seb, peep the Discord. I created the forum channel. Man, you work fast, Goldie. That's awesome. All right, that's really cool. Is it all right, Goldie, if I check that out tomorrow, though? Because we're already now 50 minutes in, and I haven't even written a single line of code at this point. We're still just talking tech. And I really want to jump in and get that going, especially since I'm going to try and end the stream at midnight. I don't want to stream later than midnight because I don't want to be too loud for the other people in the house. I know I have a degenerate stream schedule, but like that's not really fair on everybody else. If I speak too loud, I make a lot of noise. So I'm trying to be earlier with the stream. And that also means I have to stop talking now and get into code. Yeah, Combat Wombat's right. You learn more from the work than from any course that you can do. The job is non-tech work. I mean, generating reports. So I was hoping to switch. That's why I considered doing the certification. You don't need the certification to do the switch, Cypher. Just like go learn Python and automate part of the work you already do. That's a really great way to start this. And maybe don't even do it on the job. Just do it in your own free time. In your own free time on the weekend, go and automate the reports that you're generating. Use like, you know, go look at a bunch of YouTube videos, do a whole bunch of like, there's lots of free resources that can teach you to code. Go and pick a part of your job that takes you a long time. Like go and figure out the thing that like, where your the bottleneck in the process of your reporting is and try and automate that. That's a great way to learn. That's straight. Seb loud, that's a funny line for me. I know, like compared to some of the other people in this house, I know I'm not the loudest, but I do stream the latest. And they also need to sleep, Stray, so that's the challenge there. Yeah, Jess agrees with me. You should try automating the report generation. That's a huge way to learn, and it actually is practical. It's a really useful thing if you can do that. And it's not as hard as you might think. How you doing, Razor? I'm good, man. How is my queen of streams going? Fass has been doing a lot of R&R. She's been playing some TD games with me. We've been playing some Diablo. She's been taking a little bit of time off. And like, she's also working pretty hard at the same time, but it's not the same as like her. She's spending like 1 or 2 hours to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours a day working, but it's not like 12-hour days like she usually does. So I do think she's recovering. She's doing good. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to actually jump in and maybe the first place to start. So sorry if I missed some messages. Hold on. Here the competition is crazy. Everything grinding DSA to get into FAANG. I mean, dude, I didn't even know those acronyms. Just like, there's a whole world out there. You can create a cool thing and put it out on the internet and make money with it. There's a million ways to if you apply yourself to use your creativity to create ways to generate a living for yourself. Like, don't get so blinded into the current culture that you're in that you forget about the fact that the world is full of opportunity. It's full of opportunity, and if you feel like you need to do this particular certification, like, in reality, you don't. You probably don't need to do it as much as you think. Oh, yeah. Fang, I have actually, I did know that acronym, actually. Thanks, Combat Wombat. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, with that in mind, where were we last? Okay. So, yeah, we added that name stuff so that now you guys get cool names. So, the architecture, we made some really big changes to our architecture last time we were working, like before we were doing the swear jar. And I believe the last thing we were doing, we had this transcription system, right? The transcription system allowed us to take what I was saying and turn it into text, essentially. It was going to take my voice and turn it into text. And I did implement a new system that simplified the swear jar a little bit. And with it, we can probably take that and roll on that, roll on from that. So it was transcriptions, if I recall. It was... Ooh, okay, I haven't actually done this yet. So I did move... Another thing I did off stream, guys, was I converted the system that we were running into an OBS plugin type deal. And that does actually operate as a website, and it's currently using the same socket. So what I'm going to do is kill that, which means chat's going to be dying and coming back to life throughout this entire process, unless, hold on, we can change it. We can, right here, we can change our port. So let's do something like port 8000 instead of 5000. Here we go. What is it doing? Didn't like me changing that at all. Hello? I'm pretty sure you can... Maybe it's because it's running. No, it's not running. Should be possible to edit that. Let's just open it like this. I mean, we're not using IIS, and I never intend to, so that can go 8,000... and 8,000, and then from there, let's run this, because this shouldn't collide. Selected profile was not found. What are you talking about? We just looked at it. Edit. Run. Hold on. We broke it. Though I don't think that should be the case. Stop that. IIS settings profiles. It's in profiles. We deleted the wrong section. We broke the JSON, which was silly. There we go. And now this can be 8,000. All right, let's run that. Yeah, I would never imagine being funny. Okay, hold on. This is what we're building, Cypher. We're building an AI swear jar where you can put your name in, and then it goes to a page where, like, every time I say a swear word, it drops a new coin into this swear jar. So that's what we're actually building. You thought I was making a Fasffy vampire joke? Yeah, I mean, they're good times. Fasffy does have many vampiric qualities, like, you know, being ageless and never going outside, never being seen in the sun. Very true. Yeah, but this is the tool. So the last thing that we did was, like, we were working on the transcription system in isolation. And so you can see that there's these dots down the bottom. and it was running there in the background. And one of the negative things about the way it's actually running is it's falling behind what we say. And so that's definitely one thing we could do. We could go optimize this so that the time that it takes to transcribe doesn't become backlogged. Because this also means it's using a lot of memory in the background. If the time that it takes to process the things that we are saying falls so far behind, it's actually like buffering a bunch of like audio memory, and then doing a conversion. So it has actually just finally caught up, which is good. It's good that it does finally catch up, because I don't want the system to be so slow. But it's important since, the time that it takes to do this transcription, we really want the swear jar events to happen very close to the time at which we say that, the spoken word and the event of dropping the coin is just like, it's comically more effective if like very close to when you swear, it counts the swear word. I think if somebody rages and then 2 minutes later it puts coins in the jar, it's just not as funny, right? It loses its punch. But this is the system that we implemented with managing state, and the next thing to do is use the state management inside of our swear jar. A lot of it, honestly, is going to be deleting code that's no longer in use. But I'm happy with how this is functioning. Like, as I look at this, and I look at how well it's transcribing, it's doing a pretty good job, and it's not taking too long to do it either. Sorry, new to the stream, how do I identify the swear words? We're using a bunch of different algorithms. There's a neural network in there called Whisper, and we're using a different system called Echo to help manage the data around it. Now, we've done a bunch of custom stuff ourselves to actually make this function. So yeah, lots of different custom things. But yeah, that's how we got to where we are now. But now the next thing to do is use the back-end state management systems in conjunction with the new front end. The back-end transcription systems in conjunction with the new front-end state management systems. I think that's the next thing to do. So, all right, where are we? So we've got our swear jar here, and I know our entry point is the swear jar page. And so here we are. We're using the Fluxer component, but notice we're directly injecting the services. And so that's the thing that we want to avoid doing this now that we have state management, because this is business logic, right? If we look at the architecture of our solution, we've gone and implemented our different layers, and we need to try and maintain those clear boundaries and domains. And I know a lot of the refactoring that we did to move quickly ahead of the subathon, it broke different systems in here. Right now there are errors in these systems which need to be corrected, right? Because we've got this old Twitch voice reader. I don't know if we actually even use this anymore. It might be the case that we can just delete this entirely from our solution, because with the new systems we've implemented, maybe less is more when it comes to code. I might just go ahead and straight up delete these old systems that have errors in them, because they're clearly not needed, right? This solution is not compiling, and yet our transcription stuff is running, so that can go. I think that's actually step one. Who needs it? It can go. Delete code. Measuring projects in terms of lines of code is a bit like measuring aeronautical design in terms of kilograms. It's like more code is often, if not always, worse. So we've got the transcription stuff, that audio management, I feel like it can straight up go. Happy with that. Twitch voice reader, audio, all of these can go. Good. Less code. Less is more. And then these tests, I'm tempted to even just go straight up delete these tests too, because these tests at very least were around the audio system. These performance tests would have been useful. Honestly, they would have been really useful if we had kept them around. But if we'd adapted the other systems, because we use this to optimize, right? Before, when we were writing these systems, we were saying how fast did they run? Let's make some tweaks, and let's rerun our tests, and they would spit out how how much memory it was using, the total time that it was taking to transcribe. So these tests will be nice to re-implement later, but since we've just ripped the audio systems out, I think we'll take the tests out as well. I do want to leave the solution here as an empty solution because I know for a fact that it'll be useful later. You may know the tech stack that I'm using. It is not on GitHub at this point. It's just a local repository. I think later we'll put it there, but it is using Blazor and it is using IIRC. Are you talking about like IRC for the Twitch integration, or is IIRC a different relay channel system? It might be that, and it is definitely .NET. Yeah, Fizz is right for .NET. We are using like different systems to manage IIRC, but it's 100% Blazor and .NET. Okay, so we've got these more tests here. I think these are also tests with errors, though they're not significant. We did some adaptation to transcriptions. So we need transcriptions need, let's see, strings, date times, durations. I think we got rid of the channel. We broke that dependency. So with that gone, this test can still succeed. And it might actually be the same here. We need to reintroduce that later to support multiple tenancy. I want it to be possible for this system to work on multiple streams all at the same time. So let's see, what have we got here in this test? I'm tempted to just like go and honestly, for tests which are failing after all this really serious refactoring, I think trying to fix them is not worth the time. So I'm going to be deleting a lot of these. And I think that's the way to treat tests, right? Tests are there to speed you up. If they've become legacy and like dealing with them slows you down, it's best to delete them and re-implement them. So being precious with code can actually be one of the things that kills your productivity really, really significantly, especially when it comes to tests. I've been on projects where the team, like, I looked at the project management time. It's like we had epics related to tests, and in some sprints, the team was spending like more than half of its time maintaining the tests, which is insanity. It's really insane. If tests don't speed you up, get rid of them. Okay, got it. So from a senior dev like you to a guy like me, how do I find resources? I mean, what is the best way to find it? Is ChatGPT? Cypher, like, these days, maybe. It's an interesting, like, it's a really interesting question, Cypher, because what tends to happen is you can be very effective using GPT to build things and using AI to build things when you get to a senior level. You understand enough about what you're trying to do to guide an AI to do it. I would say be cautious of using AI to learn if you're delegating too much of the actual doing to the AI, because those vibe coding can be very effective in the hands of a senior engineer. If you rely too much on it while you're a junior, you'll never learn the things that you need to in order to become a senior engineer. Does that make sense? So yeah, you can definitely work with GPT to learn. Just be cautious about using it to build too much. Yeah, so definitely use it to learn, but avoid copy pasting too much of its code into your own projects until you really, really understand it very, very well. And understand it completely, because you'll rob yourself of the ability to learn if you delegate too much of your thinking to it. Then it does all the thinking for you, and you never get any better. So yeah, tricky answer there. I would definitely say though, the thing that teaches you the most, Cypher, is get in and do it. You just need to go and fail. Go and fail a lot. Go and try and build things and get it wrong. Fail over and over and over and over until you have learned so much from your failures that the rate of your failure decreases. That's the best teacher. And it, like, error after error after ever with like failed project after failed project, you just need to like stick with it and put in the hours to become good enough to become a senior. That's the only way to do it. So from a senior dev to a junior, the only way to get good is just to go and build. Go and make stuff. Go make stuff. For me, it was computer games. Like, if you like computer games, go make games. Making games is so hard and teaches you so much. I couldn't recommend that more as a method of learning. Depending on where you are, like initially you might have to just go and build a whole bunch of Hello World console applications and go make things that do really simple stuff initially, like very simple games. I started making like card games on the command line was where I began making games. It's like, they're really simple, well-defined problems, and Combat Wombat just started learning from a book, and that's another way to do it. Yeah, but like you can't learn programming from reading about programming in a book. You have to actually go do it. Use a book as a guide for the process, but yeah, you have to actually get your hands on the keyboard. Get your hands on the keyboard and go break things. Yep. So, all right, we've cleaned up a bunch of those compilation errors. Now the next thing, let's go bust open our in our presentation layer. Actually, what the other thing is feature staging. We finished working with the feature staging that we have here. We were using this, if you guys can recall, to test the profile picture, and we really need to clean up after ourselves before we progress onto new tasks. So that feature staging, that whole solution, it can either we delete the contents of it, or we delete it entirely and reintroduce a new console solution when we want to work on the command line to create something new. And I think probably the latter, right? I'm going to delete the project from the file system. I'm going to delete it from the solution. That can go too. Okay, now we have our solution and we have a cleaner starting point to begin from. Let's go have a look at what we were doing when we made our transcription service, because a lot of what we're seeing in this transcription system is going to be useful in our swear jar system. So we have transcription states. This is where we're managing our state, and we've got our transcription state sync. We should be able to, if we go into our swear jar, we should be able to do everything that we were doing here using those systems. So we already have our state sync and we have our state. The profanity filter, yeah, potentially, but I think what's smarter to do is probably create a new state that is our swear jar state and have a new swear jar state sync. And we'll do all our filtering between transcription states and swear states inside of that swear jar state sync. That might be smarter, because otherwise what we're going to be constantly doing, if we depend on this transcription state sync, we're going to be reading into the state of transcription state, which, if you recall, contains all of our transcriptions, and that list in theory could get really, really, really long. Hey psych, hello world and YouTube, how you doing there? Dude, you guys, I really appreciate your support, just bolstering those numbers there in YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you for being there, psych, and hello over there. So Goldie has entered lurk mode, no problem, Goldie. Yeah, my intro was a book, and then the actual learning was done doing projects, 100%. And learning, fix errors is the best way to learn about them, yeah. Minimize the solution just to the necessities, to find extra ways to shrink, optimize, and refactor. Yeah. Getting rid of unnecessary code is always the best path. Yeah, legacy code is bad. And the more code you have in your code base, in a sense, the harder the code base is to work with. So keeping it as small as possible is always, in general, is best. Okay, so we've got our transcription state. We could build this directly on transcription state. It would be possible. Do we want to do that though, is what I need to consider. In general, one thing that helps is to keep a new store for each presentation layer, right? So if you're going to render something on the front end, create a new store for it and manage the state just for that presentation layer in that store. But there are certain instances where you can share state between multiple presentation layers. So when I say presentation layers, I'm essentially talking about the web page itself, right? And so we've got multiple web pages that can rely on the same information and render them in different ways. So I think now I need to decide between whether I use the same transcription state sync and basically just reuse this, which would be very effective as a way to to do this, or whether I create a new swear state, like swear word state. Let's start with the simplest thing and then switch when we feel like we need to. I think that's going to be the way to go. So in our swear jar page, let's go have a look here. So we'll essentially keep that. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff already happening here. This isn't doing anything anymore. I don't know why we need our word count. What's word count used for? Oh, that's used for rendering on the front of the swear jar, but it's not getting used anywhere. All we're doing is incrementing it, and then we're not using it in presentation, so I'm guessing it can go. We won't need to increment anymore. That word count can go. Add new profanity matches. This seems like it would be useful code, but what's happened to it? No, it is used in the presentation layer. My bad. Okay. You know what? I'm tempted to just run this. Let's see where it's at and whether it actually functions, and we'll take it from there. So let's run it. Oh, what did I just see? Is there still a program CS for our... Sometimes our solution on the left looks a lot neater than our file system. And I want to make sure that if... I mean, yeah, all these dot files, they tend to mess things up. All these generated files tend to mess things up. No, I thought I saw our console application in a new folder still in there, but it is actually deleted from the file system. Okay, so with that running, I suspect it's like, it's going to be problematic. There are things that will go wrong with this. What was the URL even? I think it was just swear jar. Maybe I should have a dash in that name, but here it is. Okay. Is it actually just still working? It might be. I expect to see some dots down here, but I don't know if they are. Something's wrong with it. Something's definitely wrong with it. We should definitely be seeing something like our current... Oh, I remember. Yep. So, first thing we can do. In our new system, we've got our live update, our word live update here. So, what we're seeing is it's using the current words, but current words can sometimes be like, it should have the last words described or the current words. So, current words... How's it getting current words? Because this needs to be... Are we feeding current words in? Yes, we are. Transcription. Yeah. So we need last or current words. Private void get. No, that's a string. Get last or current words. And that's going to be either if this is empty. So string dot is null or empty from the current transcription. If it's null or empty, it's going to be the last word. So that's going to be transcription state dot state the property dot value dot transcriptions dot last dot message dot text. Otherwise, this is going to be the current transcription state. Yeah. Okay. So let's use that here. That's far more expensive depending on what thing implement it, like how this transcription state is, like these transcriptions are implemented. Because it's IEnumerable, that means like to go last, it actually needs to, if it's an array, it can access like the index at the length of the array. But if this is a list, it will have to, like, it's essentially a linked list, and it'll need to go over each object, going through next to next to next to next until it gets to the last. So something to be cautious of is if this list gets long, that this might actually be an expensive operation. But I'm not too worried about it. Okay, this here. Why is that event on swear jar changed? This is never called, where previously it would have been called. And I think if this is never called, then we're never going to see a coin go into the swear jar, which could be an issue. But let's have a look. Let's rerun anyway. Let's rerun and see if our live text gets fixed. And I think some feedback from you guys, when we saw it on stream last, is that text doesn't read very well. It doesn't read well at all when it's on screen. When it was on Fast's stream, it just like, it didn't look good. So we still need to fix that up. And there's another thing. If we go last, we run the risk of, if this is an empty collection, so this one, I think, if this is an empty collection, then last is going to throw an error as well. So we can at least say, if this is, if there are any, and where'd my any go? I don't like how long that reads. Try and keep these things on the same line wherever possible, but at least that tab makes it a little clearer. Let's rerun that. Fizz, yes, .any is the same as that, as transcriptions.length is not equal to 0. It's the language integrated query of the solution to that exact same thing. That's, sorry, LINQ is what I mean by language integrated query. A really handy part of the C# API. It makes it a little bit more like human readable versus what your, length does not equal 0 type of deal. Okay. Okay, so now when I say stuff, we should be seeing it down the bottom. Yeah. Good. That's working. Excellent. Now we need to probably, for each caption, we needed to trigger this. So where's that method call? We have that method call that says on swear jar changed with a match. I think what we can do is connect profanity filter service, add new profanity matches needs to get called. We can just connect through the event that's raised here. So protected override void, yeah, on definitely protected override, not void. That's silly of me. We should go on after render. So after its first render, we can go state changed, and we can say, let's see. State change is one way to do this. But I don't know if it's the right way. I think it might not be the right way when you think about it. So there's always going to be an event when I just don't want to enumerate the collection. I'm trying to think through the problem here where, hey, Tin Mountain, how you doing, dude? I'm good. Great to see you, man. It's, Tin Mountain. Oh, I think, did we meet Tin Mountain? No, I think I'm confusing you with Stone Mountain. But good to see you, Tin. And look, Rogue Entity is here. Guess what? Rogue Entity is Chris. He's one of those people who got his own special, like, reserved name. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. How's life? Sorry I missed the most recent Sunshine Coast developer meetup. Yeah, that's right, Tin. That's right. It's good to see you back here. Thank you for coming back, Tin Mountain. It's awesome to see you. You're doing good? That's great. Guys, so Chris is a developer on the Sunshine Coast making, well, for one, he's kind of a little bit YouTube famous in the Unreal Engine C++ development scene for his series of YouTube videos, which like went gangbusters, teaching people how to make games in Unreal. So a bit of a YouTube celebrity in our midst. It's great to have him along here. He's also making an awesome RTS. He's based up in Queensland on Sunshine Coast. I didn't live far from him, so we got to catch up fairly often when I was living up there, but now I'm all the way down in Melbourne, and so I missed the last Sunshine Coast game developer meetup event. Really sorry I missed that, dude. I almost took a flight to the Sunshine, flew to Brisbane to go and attend that event, along with some other things. There were just like a lot of things happening at the time that maybe made it make sense to go and be there. But in the end, Fass, my sister, was having her subathon. She was doing a big streaming event where I was supporting her with some software tools. So I decided to lean into that and to be, to stay here and be supportive of her stream instead. But yeah, right. That's hyper. Hold on. Yeah, it's a very hyper popcat. I need to get emotes working. Chris, last stream we built what you see here. We were building this tool. So we're building like custom stream integrations and custom elements. But one thing we haven't done yet is the emote support. We have to integrate Twitch emote support, and we have to integrate the other... You saw a bit of it. Dude, cool. That's really cool that you tuned in for that. I think it's working pretty well. Now, one thing I haven't been doing is... You've been in and out of streams. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you, man. Every time I stream, the organic viewership gets bigger and bigger. Like I used to, when I was getting started, I know. I've been really streaming at degenerate hours, and I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to cut this stream at midnight so that I don't, I am living in a streamer house where people are incredibly loud where they stream, but usually they're in bed at reasonable times. And so far I've been the one streaming really, really late. So I'm trying to do better at that. Okay, hold on. Sergius and Fizz are talking tech. For instance, one jQuery selector I could add, wrap, append a class to CSS HTML. The text attributes on one line. I used to do that in multiple lines. Right. Yeah, okay. So we're not using a lot of JavaScript in what we're doing right now, guys, just because the Blazor ecosystem encourages you to use the C# instead. But okay, the last thing I was thinking before Chris jumped in, it's really good to see you, Chris. It's really cool to see you, and I'm thrilled that someone like you is tuning into the streams, dude. That's absolutely incredible. You're always welcome here. And in fact, we talked about doing a bit of you might have seen the interview with Megan Summers where we talked about her and her history. You are way up the top of my list of people I would like to speak to in a stream, just to hear about how, what it took to succeed at YouTube and what you think about the games industry, to talk about your game. There's so much stuff like that I'd really love to do if you were up for it at some point. But yeah. So, we'll maybe talk about that sometime off stream, because I'm sure everybody here would love to hear, if they got to know you the way that I know you and got to hear about the stuff that you do, I think it'd make really, really good content. So, I'm sure they'd all love to see that. So we need to talk more about that off stream sometime. But okay, here we are. So we've got state changes. When the state changes, what we need to do, we could go and take the last item in the collection, because in theory, that would be a way for us to determine if the swear word occurred. Actually, the fastest way would be to check the current text and the last registered text. But then we'd need to we run the risk of, because the current text, if we go have a look at this, guys, I'll bring it up so you can kind of get a bit of an idea of how that works when it, in real time, what it does. You see these dots down the bottom here? These dots are what it thinks I'm saying at the current time. And it's not always correct, right? Sometimes the entire, like, the likelihood of a word is affected by the context of the sentence. And so these dots right here, as they complete, they sometimes might catch a swear word that it then revises what it thinks it actually says and registers it as something that isn't a swear word. So we have to be careful about treating what's happening in those dots as a swear word. That said, as a new thing enters as a new row down the bottom, what we can do is then say, hey, did this last thing that came up, every time state changes, the last thing in the collection is the last thing that spoke. What we could just get our swear jar to do is say, oh, okay, we're going to treat that last, like the last registered line of text as the thing to check for a swear word. And so that's what we can do here is if the state changes, it could be that this text has changed, or it could be that a new line has entered here. And I think what I want to do for now is just look at that last line and say, okay, was that a swear word? So we already have our method here, add new profanity matches, and we can do that on the last transcription. So right here, if we stop this running, what we'll do is we'll go in this method, the add new profanity matches with, it's going to be, I'm pretty sure, we can get the last match, the last transcription here. And that's going to be the transcription state dots. I mean, we could put a new event in, but I don't think so. No, I think this is the way to do it. Ooh, what was that? I didn't even know that was a thing. How handy. I just found a new keyboard shortcut, guys. How cool is that? Quickly set, type or double click a mnemonic, provide a note. Interesting. I'll have to maybe Google that later. Oh, look here, it did something for us here. It added a weird bookmark. So that's Control F11. And then we can... Oh, look, and then it remembers them. That's cool. That's really cool. All right, we don't use bookmarks too often. I tend to just search when I need something rather than using bookmarks. There was a time where I used it huge, but... Okay, hold on. What's your chunking strategy? Just fixed window. You might need to clarify, Jesse, what you mean by chunking strategy. We haven't. We've been working on the swear jar. Lately, we've been working on the swear jar this stream. Did I change the title? No, but the title is still correct. The title's still good. Didn't sound like Seb, to be honest. Maybe I just changed the way I'm talking here. Tin Mountain, we're using an IDE called Rider. It's one of the JetBrains ones, and I believe they just introduced a free tier if you want to check it out and try. I find it really nice for, like, I'm not sponsored by Rider. I've just been using it for literally since it came out. I've been using it for years and years and years, and I have trouble. I don't like Visual Studio. Seems clunky after having worked here for a while. Yeah, if you use Rider, you don't ever come back. And Chris knows his stuff. Chris really knows his stuff when it comes to coding. So you've got two people endorsing this thing. Cypher, I actually used to pay about $300 a year for my Rider, and I'm the type of person who avoids spending money on subscriptions, but Rider was one area where it's actually just worth it, because I spend a lot of time coding, and so, you know, with my business, I try and, you know, especially after like trying to switch to making computer games, the dollars go a lot further than they did when I was working for like mining companies and stuff like that. The spending in your company, like you have to save ruthlessly where it doesn't matter, but then like spend very freely in instances where you gain huge productivity gains. And like for me, writer is one of those areas. So we don't want current subscription, we want transcriptions.last. And then we need to make sure, because state can change when, oh, here's an issue. State can change. We might have to cache the last subscription, which would be really painful. I don't want to do that, but we might. We'll just do it locally here. We'll do it last transcription, and that can be a transcription. What's it actually called? What do we call it? We called it a transcription. I see you guys chatting. You got your own private chat there in the YouTube. Guys, that's very sneaky. That's very sneaky. It's a nice place to like get a little side chat where you get special attention and you don't have to worry about the crowd. Very good. Very good. Good night, Burlap. It was really good to have you in the stream, dude. Did I even see you come in? I'm sorry if I missed it when you arrived. It's really cool to see you. But yeah, like even though writer was expensive, I'm pretty sure it isn't expensive anymore for non-commercial use. So this is a transcription. So transcription. We can look at it, the other people that have last transcription. And they can tell us we're crazy. And that can start as null. The last transcription, we can just go like that now. Last transcription equals this. So if the last transcription hasn't changed, so current transcription is that if the current transcription is, if the current last is not equal to the last, then we can add it as we can add new profanity matches from that. And writer has, it's noticed, I think we can do that equality check. So I think this is gonna see if it's like a reference equality check that we actually need here. And then it's right, that is, so last transcription now, it's gonna be equal to the current last. So this means now, and we can double discard these. We don't need either of these variables. Every time this goes through, we can check if the last transcription matched, and if it doesn't, we can flag this, and that's going to trigger off all that old logic that we used to have. So for every swear match after we run it through the profanity filter, which I think shouldn't honestly be a service at this point. I think this can just be a class. No, you know what? I think it might actually make sense as a state object. Because later, remember, we want to add support for custom word lists so that people can use whatever they want instead of just swear words with the swear jar. So later, we're going to have to refactor this into its own state object so that we can reference state in there rather than just like running it through the service. But for now, we'll leave it as it is. This might be enough to get our swear jar up and operational, though this one is an important one. This one will restore the last state because I do believe we have persistence enabled for, actually I need to go check that out, whether the persistence is still there. It used to save all of our transcription results, which I actually, let's go have a look in persistence and see if it's there. No, it's not. Our caption entity is still there, but the system that saved that to disk in a CSV is actually gone, which is fine, We can re-implement it. At some point, we're probably going to have to implement a database too, guys. I'm not sure if, I'm not sure if you're referring to me being distracted by Mary Poppins being blown off course, because that's definitely how I am. I'm like, side quest. But it's cool to see you guys chatting in the YouTube. How awesome is that? Very, very good. Okay, let's run this and see if our swear jar results come up. It's not going to restore history like it used to, which is fine. But let's see if it at least like recognizes these results. I'm still looking at these and going like, they need work. The chat stuff down the bottom there needs work. I know for a fact I can give it a little more space. I'm actually going to do that. There we go. A little bit more. I can probably even squeeze another like 50 pixels. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So let's go to the swear jar. Ooh, it's got an error. What is its error? Sequence contains no elements. That seems legit. So that is one thing I really don't like about Rider, guys. Like, look at the stack trace. Tell me where the actual error occurred. And it's like nowhere. This is especially Flux. So the Flux state management, the way that it raises events, you completely disconnect the exception from the stack, which, yeah, really unfortunate, because now I have to remember what change I made most recently and fix my bugs as I go. Otherwise, we just create this disconnect between where the error occurred and where it's reported. So I have to now go think about what I just implemented and at what point we did something like last. So here it is. So again, we need to do that similar check to be like, is there anything in this collection? If there's any, and so if there's not any, we can just break. All right, rerun. This might also be where we start to use our like early. We set up our watch runs so that we can do that like hot reload-ish type behavior. If it will finish compiling, because then that, like, the big advantage there is we stop having to like rebuild every time we make changes. There's just been so many times where that hot reload has kind of like burnt me. So yeah, no, I knew that he was both references work, right? I was making a joke, Goldie. I know he's referring to the weather, but I also know that like I'm conscious of myself getting blown off course with the work that I do. But all right, here we go again. Now I have to start doing that thing that I don't like to do, where I swear lots and we see if it works. So here we go. So what are the swear words? Do I still have my swear list with the non-swearing swear words? I think I do, right? We can go have a quick look at like how we implemented this. Yeah, both references work, Goldie. Both references work. I see you laughing there, man. Okay, where are we? It's funny having YouTube like this and you guys active there. It's like we have our own little like side chat channel. Because I really want the YouTube to grow. I want more subs and stuff so that I can be like, so I can be like Chris with what he's done with Rogue Entity Games and like his own YouTube channel. Like the success that channel had, I would love to achieve something like that. If we do a stream, Chris, where we talk together, I really would love to learn how you got YouTube growth and how you structured your videos and how all of that worked. Because right now I'm streaming on YouTube as well, by the way, mostly because I want to start to create videos there. But like, I would love to talk to you about how you became successful doing that, because I'd like to do the same. I'd really like to do the same. Okay, so we have this new state. I think we've got no errors, but I haven't sworn yet. And I made myself that custom profanity filter. Here it is. We had these little limericks that we could say that counted. Snolzy, how you doing? Welcome. Can I get some Snolzies in the chat? He's shown up. It's so great that I can stream late. You guys are still showing up. It's one of the big advantages of having people watching from all over the world. Okay, here we go. If I say these words that are not rude, they'll get treated as rude words. That's why we put them here. So, for instance, they were tongue twisters mostly. For instance, Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Let's see how it goes. And now. Oh my god, that's... Apparently, that was 477 instances. Yep, that's not right. There's a bug there, that's for sure. That's for sure. That's 100% an error. Why did... Okay, hold on. Did state change get triggered that many times? How did state change... State change doesn't dispatch anything, does it? Because the dispatcher could cause it to, like, resolve new instances. Oh my god, it exploded with detections. I said 4 swear words, and it detected 477 swear words. That something went really wrong there. Yeah, that's 100% wrong. What the hell just happened? What the hell just happened, guys? That exploded in a really, really chaotic way. That's crazy. Okay. So, is it this equals comparison? No, it couldn't be that. Let's debug it. We're gonna run it with a breakpoint. So legendary hit, 20x damage. You're right, Snolzy. Critical hit. That was a Wind Fury attack right there. With the, you know, like, you guys ever? Oh man, Wind Fury Shaman was so freaking fun playing LOL, where you'd get the mace with like 1 big damage, and then every so often it would proc, and you'd get like 5 hits for 1 hit, and you'd sometimes get criticals, and it was just like the screen would explode with numbers. I feel like that just happened. Oh look, there is actually persistence. Here's our transcription persistence service. Shouldn't we see that? Why is this here, not in persistence? I guess it's a service. I guess I'm using this not to implement persistence, but to keep the entities for persistence? Nah, I think these two need to go... They need to go there. They weren't intuitive. When I went looking for them, I didn't find them because I put them in a different place. But it's good to know. It's good to know that they're there. I am going to move them later. I'll have to remember to do that. All right, let's let it keep running. And then we're going to put our breakpoint here to see if that gets hit. Because in theory, that's going to get hit like a lot, right? Cool to see that the transcriptions are in, like, potentially saving to disk somewhere. I need to go look up where that file actually is. Because, yeah, that's got to be sitting somewhere there. You're good. You're just chilling. Yeah, that's good, man. I feel like Goldie, like, this is a place you guys come to hang out when I stream. That's freaking awesome. I'm so lucky to have, like, found myself in this community. The way that you guys, you know, the way you gather for streams is freaking awesome. All right, debug again. And here we go. All right, that can refresh. So good to see here. All right. Hold on. These did match. Oh, hold on. That should be doing the opposite of that. That was a bit stupid. Let's do that again. Tin Mountain, what do you use for speech-to-text translation? We are using a combination of things, but at its heart, we're using OpenAI's Whisper model. So it's just a neural net, and then we're working with Echo as a different system to, like, help wrangle some of the state and some of the other stuff. Okay, hold on. if it doesn't equal... Okay, hold on. I need a little more text. I need to say some more stuff to see if this gets breakpoints. And current is says, last is that. Why isn't that getting hit? So... Oh, okay, hold on. We want to return here if this is if it's not the first render. If it's not the first render, that's actually really bad if we hadn't done that. Because what that would mean is it's re-subscribing to the state, which also explains why this happened 400 times. Because every time a state change happened, it would have re-rendered, and it wouldn't have broken because it wasn't the first render, which means it's subscribed over and over and over and over. That means the multiple triggers happen. So yeah, that's why our fatality happened. Yeah, so 10 Mountain, that's what we're using. We're using the Whisper model mostly. All right, here we go. Rerun that. And excellent. I didn't put a breakpoint there, but let's just do our little limerick again and see how it goes. So red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Oh, don't explode. Oh, it's gonna break. I feel like it's gonna explode, and there we go. Excellent. It didn't completely explode. Great success. Let's try a few other swear words now. Shit. That's a swear word. Fuck. Let me bring up the list and read it. There we go. And, yep. There we go. That's working pretty well. It's not too delayed. What else did we have? A bunch of variants. Asshole, bitch, dickhead, wanker, bullshit. Yeah. I feel like we can call this a success. We still need to. Let's put it as a browser overlay and have a look at how that text reads. But on the whole, I think we're pretty close to that thing being like something that we could put on Fastest Stream and be like, yep, good enough. And then we'll see how it goes. Because if Shady wants it, you guys said that Shady had this on her stream, right? Like somebody showed her a short of it. I mean, we could make another short right now inviting Shady to try it out if she wants, if she liked it. So, I mean, if you're seeing this in a clip some person made, Shady, and you want to try this out, like, your community absolutely loves you and wants you to try this thing. So you're welcome to it. Maybe I have to like raid you sometime and suggest it if you're into that. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Now there's a clip for that in case it finds its way to her. But here we go. Let's add this as an overlay. So we want a browser source, and we're going to call this swear jar. And then in theory, that's just good to go. Yep, there it is. We can make it nice and shrink it down a bit so that it uses this space that I reserved for it earlier. Kind of anticipated it being there. We can adjust its width a little. So its width should be probably about 500. There we go. And now we have our little swear jar ticking away as we code. I think we need to probably like set it up with some parameters the same way as we've done a bunch of our other stuff. But now, in theory, I can just like, this can just go as we stream, and I can say rude things like if my code breaks and goes shit, then Then if it's not too far behind, it will do that. There we go. Said shit, dropped the coin in the jar. It wasn't very loud though, was it, guys? Oh, and you know why? Because I've got new browser sources where I don't think the audio of that is going to come through. So it actually would have worked. It is playing a sound, but this is going to be a nuisance to configure in OBS. OBS has like, control audio via OBS, maybe? I don't know. I've got to like, now in my audio mixer, find ways to let the audio through for this, but I don't know. For now, yeah, we'll figure it out. And we can now take this and put it in a bunch of cool places, like here in chatting. Can sit somewhere. Could sit up there. Yeah. What about in our... I think that's pretty good for now. But yeah, how are you guys going? So we can just chat a bit. And now, man, I don't swear enough to test this thing properly. We could aim it at a different streamer or start to integrate the rest of those features where it looks at any Twitch stream. But for now, it's like, yeah, it's just going to be good. But I do think like you guys have made a really good point about the legibility of that text. I don't think can anybody read what it's actually saying? I think it's very hard to read, right? By the way, Dev is online. That's a good point. That's a good point, Sergius, but at the same time, like, I would need to install things on a computer for this to work. So I think we just need to leave it running and test it for ourselves a bit. What do you guys think of the text under the swear jar? Do I need to shrink the text, or maybe I need to like just make it look at less text at any given time? Maybe it needs to zoom from like left to right. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Stray. I know that I think it does clash with the purple, but I think it needs to, yeah, I'm with Broadcaster. Hey, good to see you, by the way, Broadcaster. The font needs to be changed, yeah. Unfortunately, like the handwritten like vibe that this thing has as part of its brand is like unfortunate that doesn't work. But let's have a quick look. The other thing is, what happens when I click create overlay? It takes me to a bad page. We have to reconnect that as well. So that's low-hanging fruit that we can do. But yeah, I agree with you, Broadcaster. I think it needs to be changed to be more legible. And the other thing that we've been doing with a lot of our tools so far is setting them up so that you can configure them. So I think configuration would be really, really good for the swear jar. Just to be able to create a browser overlay link in the same way that we've done for everything else we've made so far. So that's probably, it's like 11 o'clock now. I reckon I have, depending on if Dev streams late. If you're saying Dev's on, then either we raid her at midnight, which I'm leaning towards. Yeah, maybe we raid her at midnight so that she doesn't raid us, because I don't want a Dev raid. If you get a Dev raid, you just like stream until you can't stream no more, because that's a big raid. That's huge whenever Dev raids, like, and I don't want that. I want to like get reasonable bedtimes, and I don't want to be loud so that Dev can get sleep. Even though she would bring it on herself if she happened to raid. But yeah. So like 4:35 a.m. Goldie, I know I'm so bad. I'm sorry, but I don't want that to happen. That's why we're going to raid her today, okay? Send her a message to not raid. Problem solved. Absolutely. Well, on one hand, you're right, Mr. Broadcaster, but on the other hand, like if it happens to happen, then I need to lean into it, because this channel is still like, I'm still trying to grow. I'm still trying to get a start. And we're a tiny stream, and we're so lucky to be in the same house as a person like Dev. So if it happens, I have to lean into it, but I'm trying to like make it not happen. She might be streaming 1 or 2 hours more. All right, cool. That's good to know, Sergius. Thank you for checking that out and for getting that info for us. That means we have 1 more hour to stream and we can raid Dev and return the favor, which is amazing. I really want to do that for her because she's raided me a few times and like I want to be able to do that for her, even if she doesn't keep the people around. Because there are some people here in my community that don't even know Dev, and there are so many people in like the other way around where it's like most of the people in, you know what, like she's just rated me a bunch more than I've rated her, so I really want to be able to do that. But okay, that swear jar's holding up quite well. It's transcribing really quickly. I need to swear more. I need to be like, it's shit that I have to go to bed at midnight. That's all fucked. I just love that. I don't know. I'm not a swearer. I don't do it. But does it work? Does it work? And yes, it does. Yes, it caught both of them. No problem. So that's pretty good. Probably need to sort the audio out, figure out how to make the audio come through, but control audio via OBS. These are the OBS settings I'm looking at for this. If desktop audio was enabled, you guys would hear it, but it's kinda not. So I don't know. The clinking coin, it's just like such a clear sign that something happened. Maybe I need to make something more visual. I mean, let's just move on to that. We've got an hour. Let's move on to like adding some bells and whistles to this. I can say duck and see if it picks it up. I think it's smart enough to know the difference between duck and fuck. Let's see. Here we go. It's about to... Yes, it said it got duck. But... Yep, yes. It works. The system works. That's so fun. That's really funny. It said dock, yeah, instead of duck. But it, you know, I think it did miscategorize, which is really great. It's really cool to see that. So yeah, it's kind of working. It is kind of working pretty well, guys. I also think it would be really cool to retheme this. I think configuration might be the thing that makes this like nice for other streamers next. Yeah, the 2 colors are harming more than helping, 100%. So let's just do this. Instead of trying to make a font that works everywhere, let's create some configuration options like we've done in all of our other components. Okay, so this can go, let me just, do I cut it or copy it? I'm gonna copy it, I guess, and then we can have our demo scene. I really like this scene. This is the scene I created, guys, to like show off all the things we've made here. Where are the other things? But this is, yeah, this can be the place that we go to talk about the swear jar. Like if somebody gets raided and it's like, what do you do? It's like, well, we make this a thing that like checks if you're swearing and has caught every one of the 5 times I've said shit or fuck so far. And if you want it on your stream, you can have it too. All right, here we go. Ready? Yep. It's doing good. It's doing really good, guys. I need to shorten the time for recognition though. We need to optimize it even further. I know we like did a lot of work to make the detection time quite quick, but I think for this to really have comic value, for it to be funny, we need to get that even shorter. Yeah, the white outline's too thick, 100%. So, we can, so let's head over to Codeland. So for this, let's just start here, and I think we need swear jar, and so let's just start with some architecture. For a start, let's psych. I don't know. I'm in 2 minds about like putting a price tag on this thing. I think it could just be fun. It could help the stream grow if it went like a little bit viral. You know, so why hurt its like viral potential by putting a paywall in front of it? You know, I think that's anyway. The stream's getting better and better every time, though, isn't it, guys? Look at this. Like up the top, we've got our swear jar. Down Down here, we've got our like chat. I can go to this big chat and we can look at like both of those things. This is ridiculously big currently. That needs to more be like a little thing here. And like these things, guys, these, like these, I want to probably put them in the top bar so that they're like, you know, they come up every now and then go away and they don't like take up too much of the stream. But, and you'll be able to run tiny pretty close to the real time. Yeah, I know what you mean, Jesse. You're saying like I could go and do like my own custom training and create my own model tuned just for swearing, and then like, yeah, absolutely, we could do that. But also, like you say, it's a little bit overkill. You're Goldie, I mean, look, Nacho, I think, made me a professional streamer when he, like, you're a professional at something when you get paid to do it well enough to say that you can do it, like, a lot. And the support of this community, like, the fact that we had Tricky Mickey drop bits, like, I guess it's kind of true. I guess it's actually kind of true. I'm not yet thinking of myself that way. I don't think of myself as a streamer yet, but it is getting to be more and more true as the stream grows. I mean, like, no raids right now and we're at 40 people, right? So that's pretty freaking amazing. Isn't that cool? Yeah, you're a professional once you get paid. It doesn't matter if you're good or not, to be honest. You're right, broadcaster. Stray, dude, thank you for hanging out in the stream, man. You were here the whole time. That's true too, Goldie. That's true too. Partner equals professional. I mean, it does mean you get a better rev share. Maybe affiliate then even means you're professional, because we got some money when we're affiliate. I think we just get a better cut when we're partner and a bunch of other cool things. But yeah, it's amazing. Can you believe it, guys? We are Twitch partners. And look, professional mic, evidence. Only pros get to have mics like this. So can thank Fast for that. Oh man, it is getting a bit chaotic on this. Like, I need to switch off some of these. For instance, these. I think these need to go for now until we figure out how to do something better with them. And probably even those other top elements. I don't know. Oh, hold on. I killed the top bar. There we go. We didn't need that. Fine tuning would be elite for a YouTube video, in your opinion. No content there, and no one wants to read white papers. Yeah. Jesse, we 100% could do it, but I think there are so many other projects that are taking time and attention. Maybe you're absolutely right, and I should, but like, it's not whether we could, it's whether we should. We could do it, but should we do it? I'm not sure. Right now though, the next thing is that we need to do, to me at least, is clear. The next thing is obvious. We need to refactor this system so that it works more like the other systems that we've built so far. So we've got our swear jar up here on a URL. This needs to become, swear jar page needs to become a swear jar overlay, I think. Swear jar page overlay is the pattern that we've used for other systems. So if we go have a look at like subs, for instance, we've got overlay page. So that becomes, here we go. So the swear jar is actually working really well. I'm really happy with how that's functioning. So this becomes swear jar page overlay. And then we're going to make a new, I mean, maybe we even just make the URL simpler and call it, we'll call it swear jar. Swear jar page. Swear jar page, and we're going to then take this URL out of that and stick that in here. And then we can do what we've been doing in other pages, where the page itself allows you to configure. And then, you know, I think, what's a good example? The leaderboard, for instance. Let's go have a look at the leaderboard. If I fire this up, where is our... what microphone? Yeah. Goldie's right, Fizz. It's Fast gave me a handy down Elgato 3. I believe that's what it has written on the side. Yeah, it's an Elgato Wave 3. Though it's got the same, yeah, I think the Stream Deck came from the same, like it's all, there's synergy in this equipment. Fass has so much. I'm really, really lucky that I get the hand-me-downs. It used to be the case that she got the hand-me-down games and computers and consoles, and now like the tables have turned, and I get the hand-me-downs, but awesome freaking hand-me-downs, right? I'm so freaking lucky. That's, yep. Okay, so this page, I think, actually probably can be part of our configuration page. I think that one looks pretty cool. Hey, mate! Who's this? Maybe, how you doing? You're raiding with a party of 20. Welcome, guys. That's freaking awesome. Amazing to see you here. Thank you for the raid. Tell me a bit about yourself. Maybe I can shout you out to my audience. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing really good. We're working on this right now. It's a stupid little project, but it's kind of fun. Let me go head over here. I'll rerun it and refresh this page so that you all can see it. Oh, we just broke it actually. Hold on. Back to the code real quick, like quick fixes. We can do it. We'll put that back there, rerun it, and then you all can see the stupid thing that we've been building to give you a bit of an introduction to the channel. But yeah, please, maybe introduce yourself. I'd love to give you I'll give you a shout out right now. And a follow. I'm James. I usually work on an app called Barely Fit. Dude, that's a great name. But today I've been doing some back-end work with Proxmox stuff. Sick. Yeah, no, absolutely. Big shout out. I want to go check your channel out, and I'll drop you a follow at the same time. Let's have a look. Okay, cool, man. So you do a little bit of games. You do a lot of like software engineering from the sound of things. Thank you, Mahabi, for the follow. I'm going to follow that right back, and I would encourage you guys to go check out... wow, a lot of followers here, Mahabi. I'm working up the... I've hardly got any followers. We're growing, you know, steadily. Actually, we're growing quite quickly. Yeah, you can share a link, dude. Share it and I'll like reshare it if it blocks you. I suspect it will. Goldie, my mod, is here and he might be able to help with that as well. But yeah, it's okay. Very cool stuff. I see that you're doing a lot of software engineering and software development here. Cool that you're making a... All right, cool. Oh, ads. That's annoying. I'm so sorry. So sorry, everyone. We have to look at a banana and hear about Metis glasses. Okay, there's the app. Cool, man. Okay, easy to follow exercises, workout logging and tracking, custom workout plans, nutrition, comprehensive reports, works offline. I like it. That's a good elevator pitch of a page. That's really, really cool. I love that it's like, I love the accessible angle because not everybody likes like muscly dudes in their branding. It's having control. This is a cool project. You know what? I actually built a fitness app myself once upon a time. It was called what do we, man? How do we even remember? I think we changed the name a few times, but at one point it was called Peak Fit. But yeah, it's really cool that you're doing this. What tech are you using to implement this? Oh wow, 2 raids back to back. TB Gamer, thank you so much for the raid. That's awesome. We're gonna have to actually just like, since everybody's in there, we're gonna have to show you guys what we're working on. We're making this stupid thing. We're making a React Native app and sometimes Android and iOS. Awesome. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're making this stupid thing. I'm a streamer. I'm Seb. I also a software developer and a game developer, but I've moved into a house with a bunch of other streamers like Fasffy and Devalik. TB Gamer, thank you for the follow. I'm gonna shoot you a follow too, and we're gonna check out your stream as well in just a minute so that I can give you a shout out as well. Let me just shout you out. But you can see a jar just now. You can see a jar just now to the right here. And this is just going to catch me swearing because my sister sometimes swears on her stream and I don't want her to do that. Oh no, it's C sharp. But yeah, please forgive us. Maybe it is C sharp, but it's like, it's C sharp in the web. So maybe that can redeem it. But what we're doing with C sharp right now is we're making a website that you can use as a stream overlay like this one for your stream. So if you guys are like breaking your code and you're going, fuck, I broke it. That's so shit. I hate this fucking project. If you happen to do those things, what it's going to do is this. It'll catch what you say and it'll put coins in your swear jar. Thank you, Stony Eagle, for the follow. I really, really appreciate the follows, guys. This stream, it's growing so fast. I can't even believe it. You love it? Well, look, guys, you're both streamers. You both just rated me. If you want this project, I'm going to set it live pretty soon. We've been doing a whole bunch of other things on this stream as well. We've been making like stream leaderboards. You know what? I can demo it all. Let's go have a look. Let's go head over here and I can show some other stuff that we've been making. So, for instance, we can go leaderboard, or what was it? So it's running on Whisper. It's essentially transcribing the Twitch stream in real time. So it's reading the information out of Twitch, and then it's converting what I say into the text, and then that's running through a filter. But that's not the only thing we've been doing. We've also been working on. So for instance, we've also got our subs leaderboards. So we can go like, was it subs? I think that's what we called it. Yeah. So you can see who's been subbing to the channel, and we've got a leaderboard for like the top contributors. We built this we built this in 2 streams ahead of my sister's subathon because she's a much bigger streamer than I am. And so yeah, we created this for her subathon, which ran over 9 days. She managed like this whole community. Like I share a lot of the community with her. Amazingly, she managed to get the subs to exactly 6,969 subs got onto this leaderboard. But yeah, we're creating a whole bunch of stuff to like make configurable, configurable stream tools. Here's another one. This chat right there. You can see this chat on the right, guys. We implemented this last stream. So here, if you look at my, you can see the same thing down here. All the chat messages are coming through on the bottom. That's all something we implemented last stream. And so yeah, these chat messages, things like bringing your, I've never seen a stream chat with like display pictures, so we implemented that as well, so that more of your personality comes through when you chat with me. Hacks, thank you, man, thank you. I can't believe I just got 2 raids back to back from complete strangers. That's amazing, guys. That's freaking awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, okay, so I should be swearing more. I should say, that's fucking awesome. Thank you for following, your fucking legends. Love to have you here. And then we can demonstrate a little bit more of what's happening here on this swear jar. So the idea behind this swear jar, guys, is, it said freaking, not fucking. I have to enunciate because I maybe did like draw the line between, maybe it was a bit generous in letting me off the hook there for the swearing. Cool fucking swear jar. I think so. I really think so. I'm glad you like it too, Haxa. And it's cool to see your name, dude. I mean, like, I'm guessing both these guys were just, yeah, okay. It caught me that time. That's what we want. We want it to catch us. Now render HTML in the chat overlay. You know what? We could, you're kidding, Stony, but we actually could do it. We were talking about like adding markdown support to it, which we 100% could do because we're controlling this all ourselves, right? I'll bring up the code that shows you guys what this actually looks like. These are, so for chat, so we're also making this stuff configurable. So like, here's the chat page. It's all just like, it's not HTML. There's a lot of like, Razor and stuff like that, but it's HTML-esque. So we could make something that renders HTML. We could also support Markdown. I think Markdown would be a really cool thing. But so far, we don't even support like emojis. So that's another thing we have to do. We want to support the Twitch emotes. We want to support 7TV. We want to support like, what's that, like BTTV? We want to do support for a bunch of things, but really like we're getting a little bit we were talking about it earlier in the stream, how sidetracked. I go on side quests all the time. I'll be like, somebody will make some cool suggestion, and I'd be like, yeah, we should do that. The next side quest we're going to do on this stream, guys, one of my other, because I'm in a streamer house, one of the other streamers here, they're doing, like, they engage with their community a lot. I wanted to do more things that helps them bring their community into the streaming process a little bit more. And let's be real, like, the stream for Dev has a real, like, interesting dynamic where she teases the stream and stream teases her. And so what I thought would be really, really fun. Yeah, I'm in a streamer house, maybe. It's in Melbourne. It's like, I don't know if it's necessarily a streamer house, but I live with a bunch of other content creators who are way, 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 way bigger than I am, which is kind of why I've managed to create a channel and grow really fast. So you just live in a house, no streams. That's not true. You were streaming just before. Were you? Or was it, hold on. Who raided? Yeah, you did raid. In fact, you raided with 20 viewers. You definitely are a streamer. So no streams is a lie. No streams is a lie. You're a hella successful streamer, dude. The fact that you raided with 20 proves that you're something, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, let's check out, while we're at it, let's check out, did I do the shout out? If I didn't, we're gonna shout out maybe. Get it? Shout out. Shout. All right, we did, but what we need to do is also check out your stream, dude. I want to have a look. Let's have a look. See what you're up to on your streams, because we just had another great stream from. Oh no, we did. Hold on, we did check you out. We haven't looked at TBD Gamer. Let's go have a look there. Sorry, too many streams. Let's see. Okay, TBD Gamer, also software engineering. Freaking love it. Freaking love it. Awesome. And, oh, look, you're also using Rider. My dude. My man, you're speaking my language, which means you're probably doing Unity development. You're probably doing... Oh, more ads. I hope not.
Knowing how to use Google is just one part of the
Okay, no.
right?
This might be WebStorm? Yeah.
Well,
So we're doing web
it.
development.
Like,
TypeScript.
that imposter syndrome.
It's going to be React development. Very cool stuff.
Being a good
and what are you creating? Let's have a quick look at what you're creating here. Just part of the tool belt. Can you, if you're still here, TBD Gamer, can you share a little bit about what you're building so that my community can decide to follow you just like I have? So here we go. Follow, because I didn't actually hit that. Oh my God, I did hit it. Yes, I did. My actual account is, I got a different, hold on. I just have a different, I have a different stream, like browser setup. So I've definitely hit follow here already, but like, what are you creating, man? I might have gone to work. He starts about now. I'll start work soon too. All right, cool. I figured sometimes raid and run is the way to do it, guys. That's what happens. That's the whole point of raiding, is like, you got to go somewhere. You got to dip. So I appreciate you like dipping and leaving like me with the raid. I'm following you guys now. So if I get the chance to return those raids, 100% I'll be doing that. It's cool it sounds like you guys are friends. So maybe and TBD, do you know one another, or you've just both been streaming together? I'm guessing it's probably mutual rating. He's working on a Jira killer. Dude, I also have a Jira killer in the works. Everybody's trying to kill Jira. It needs to die, let's be real. Stone Eagle, dude, look how supportive your community is, dude. Stone Eagle stepping up to tell us how cool you are. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see here. Okay, developers.stream, which is meant to support other streamers. Okay, let's have a look at that. That could be really cool. Developers.stream. Maybe we need to get here too. Ah, dude, I love the look of this page already. That's sick. Curated list of development streamers. If you're interested in being on the list, here's what I ask. Fill out the issue on the GitHub page. I love that. Help promote the list like you just did then. Hell yeah. On your stream. The site is not unique, but there are other sites that look to provide a list of streamers like Belly.io, but this site is in the works. Check out the stream GitHub. Cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah, okay, so you're both on that list. Maybe I should put in and apply for that. That's a cool idea. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Check out that website, guys. It's like nice and simple, like a short list of really cool developers from the sound of things. Could really get into that. I could really get into that. So, let's see. Those are both TBD. Yeah, okay. Sly, what are you talking about? You're working on silicone implants for Jira. I like to do what others don't dare. Silicone implants. I mean, it is highly configurable and customizable. That's probably its downfall, in my opinion. It tries to do too many things, so it becomes so amorphous that it doesn't do any one thing well because it tries to do everything. It's just a holding page. You know what though? I don't mind simple pages. Let me guys show you one of my all-time favorite websites. This website, music for programming. For programming.net. Look at this site and tell me it's not the slickest, simplest site you've ever seen. That's yeah, one more time. Here we go. Refreshing. Yeah. That's a cool site right there. So like I'm with you guys. Like, this site doesn't need to be complicated. A site does not need to be like, it can be simple. Simple can be good. Simple can be good. Okay. I hope that Automod loves me. No. You're good. You're good, Stony. Here we go. Cool. Is this something that you guys implemented on your stream? Hi, how are we doing today? Is it your own custom chat? I'm guessing it is because we showed our own custom chat earlier. But here is how the marquee with an image rendered on my overlay. Right, dude, that's cool, man. We've been customizing our own, like, the fact that you can just use websites and do those as browser overlays is huge for developers who want to make their stream better. That's really cool, right? It would make it more appealing to devs to distract them with boomer. Sly, I was taking you seriously for a minute. What about Gojira? Stop destroying Gojira. Yes, I see. That's funny, Psych. That's funny. I see what you did there. I'm so proud of Go AWS. Is Gojira actually a thing? Go AWS? Is that like another? Are these open source alternatives to big things like AWS and Jira? I've been out of mana killing local stack because it's garbage for doing a lot of SNS SQS, and Go AWS is just screaming the messages, doing it all on 14 megs of RAM. Dude, cool. I need to check it out. I really need to check it out. Dear Lord, those mouth noises. Am I making mouth noises? Am I doing that, Penny? I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do mouth noises. Nobody likes mouth noises unless they're a particular kind of mouth. You know that guy that does he's wine tasting or something, and he does this thing with his mouth. He's ugh, it's weird. It's a custom chat widget you made with your favorite framework, Vue. Yeah, I've used Vue. I quite like it as well. It's a really good framework. Instead of everything in OBS, I have a thing to not publicly called. Okay, I have thing 2 not publicly called Scene Lab. Oh, thank you for the follow, Aris. I really appreciate that. And thank you for so many follows before. I don't know if I got everyone. We've got Melaneth who followed as well. Guys, thanks. We've got Fuel who just followed. Fuel Snub, thank you for the follow as well. We had Hacks, of course. We had RJ. We had Stony Eagle. We had Gorky Mole. And of course we had TBD Gamer. all of you guys, I really appreciate that. Just like getting rated and having follows means so much to us when we're just getting started with a stream like this. I know it's kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys are still around, but like, I know these guys, they rated because they had to raid and run, but I see maybe still here in the chat. It's like this stream, it's, I'm just getting into it. I've been doing this like maybe 3 months now, pushing 4 months. And it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. So you guys rating and getting follows, you're liking my vibe. Thank you, baby. Dude, I appreciate that so much. I've always been a pretty positive person, but I find like it can really work if you take that type of positivity to something like streaming. I think, you know, I like people and I like software, and it seems like streaming is a great way to interact with both of them in a really like meaningful way. So that's freaking awesome. I can just call you Stony like everyone else. You know what, Stony? We're gonna do this right here. We did this because we have our own custom chat tool. What we did was I made this little like, it's not a great feature yet, but we've got our stores, we've got our names, we've got our name state, and I can just do this. I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna go. We've got what was it? Stony Eagle, Eagle, and that's gonna be Stony. There we go, right there. So now you'll come up in chat as Stony because that's how you want to be known, and I won't misread your name, and I'll always remember your nickname because we hard-coded it now. It's hard-coded. It's going to eventually be a configurable option, but for now I'm just like sticking them straight in this file. And so now when I reload it next time, you're going to be Stony. So I'll call you Stony because the tool will help me do so. Maybe it's secretly leading the LinkedIn dev stream empire. Oh, okay. That's really cool. So have you been multi-streaming maybe to LinkedIn? Because, oh, dude, I considered doing that. We're currently multi-streaming to YouTube, but I feel like actually LinkedIn might work for programming content, right? It's, yeah. Yeah, right. Holy crap, psych. We're at 720. That's nuts. That's nuts. Where are we now? Okay, 720 went so fast. It's literally accelerating, guys. I can't believe how quickly this is going. Look, let's have a quick squiz at our where was it? We have, oh no, I've got that in a different browser. Too many browsers. Let's have a quick look because I haven't looked at this in a while, but I feel like the rate of growth, oh, that hurts when you don't stream for a few days like that. But look, it is certainly moving up. It is certainly moving up. It's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. So yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there, guys. But LinkedIn could be a really cool place. Could be a really cool place to stream. You've got a decent following on LinkedIn, and a lot of my followers come from there. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Hold up. We're gonna have a look. So let's go see. Oh man, I'm not signed in. I'll have to go to my actual account, my real person account, my alter ego, my reality-based alter ego. Where are we? In some sense, it's the most based code. All right, cool. Yeah, holy dooly, dude. That's a lot of followers on our, oh my God. I don't think my LinkedIn's very like, what's my LinkedIn? Dude, it's, what's my profile? There's like nobody following me. That's for sure. That's like, yeah, 318 connections. Jesus Christ. That's huge. Dude, well done. Hold on, we're gonna just like compare here. There's my LinkedIn. There's this guy's LinkedIn. Woof, woof. Got a new follower though, dude, for sure. That's very cool. Very cool. So streaming on LinkedIn, you think it's a vibe? It's a way to go, huh? Don't dox anything. Yeah, thank you, Goldie. I know. But like, look, you guys can look me up on LinkedIn. I don't mind that. That's a very public thing. That's just social media. That's like an Instagram or something. I think I have my Instagram linked. Maybe I should link my freaking my Maybe I should be linking my LinkedIn since it's... Yo, Jacket, how you doing? How you doing, Yellow Jacket? It's good to see you. No, sorry, Well Jacket. Why do I keep thinking Yellow Jacket? Have you ever seen that TV show? I watched it recently. I've watched a couple of episodes with Fass. It's really addictive, and it's like stuck in my brain right now. And look, Jacket, you got a custom name. You can see you come up as Jacket now in the stream, because that's what I always call you. No, don't stream on LinkedIn? Oh, okay. Okay, why not? Why not? Maybe I'm very curious why you think that's a no-go, because I did see like the Primogen was streaming there and it was going pretty well. And how did you get that many followers on LinkedIn? Dude, that's huge. That's very huge. Must be very like hard work to create enough content to get that much reach. Gorky, Forky, how did you not get a short name? Hold on, we're gonna short name you too. Here, look, check it out. We're getting Forky, and then let me just copy your whole name here. Gorky, Forky, favorite dorky is getting Forky as his short name. Got it. Nah, no problem, Jacket. No problem, man. I did it for all the regulars. I did it for all the people who show up and participate. I wanted to be able to, like, you know, use your nicknames in this. Snolzy, dude, you're another one. There's so many people who deserve to be on this list. I've kind of been like building it as I go, but we're doing it now. We're doing it now here. So where are we? Oop, wrong side. There we go. Snolzy. Snoulzy. Let's not get it wrong. Actually, hold on. You don't need one, Snolzy. You've already got your perfect name. We can capitalize it, but you've already got your... You just have a perfect name anyway, dude. We don't need to map it from anything to anything. It's just like ready to go. I was building Barely Fit in public, and I'm quite vocal about the nonsense in the software industry. So your LinkedIn kind of grew around that. Dude, you must have like... My stream name is Based Code, but you really must have some based opinions. If you get that much following from the things you say, that's really cool. That's really cool, man. You must be saying some good things if what you said created that much growth. It's incredible, man. Well done. I was at 8,000 followers before I started building Barely Fit. Right. I think I'm on like 300 followers right now. I've put like 0 effort into my LinkedIn. Souls? Yeah, let's just call him Souls. Snolzy. Souls. Done. I've updated it. No, I mean... I'm not just trying to make you feel better. I think I call you Snolzy, don't I? But I'll call you Souls from now on. That can be your new nickname, and that's in the list. Happiest LOL player, welcome back. How'd the cooking day go? It went pretty well. It went pretty well, except for the fact that I like nearly burnt the kitchen to the ground. Apart from that, I set some baking paper on fire, and it did not go well. Like 5 people showed up to tell me that it was, you know, something was burning because of how bad it smelled in the house. But we made the most delicious nachos. It was so good. It was so good. It was really, really good. So, okay, holy crap, guys. Thank you for the raids. I should take the chance for all those new viewers actually to look at, to show some of the things that we're doing. Happiest LOL player. Thank you for the sub, dude. Wow. It's not only do you show up again, you drop a sub, so... Oh, man. And so you subbed for yourself so that you get no more ads. And that pushes our sub goal, like, up significantly. Thank you, man. We gotta set bigger goals. Like, sometimes we get some big people dropping huge sub things. But honestly, the one-off subs to your own channel means, to yourself means a lot. It means, like, you're not just doing it to dump money. You're doing it because you enjoy what's happening. Actually, have a look. We should now be seeing... Where is it? This is a good chance to test our, we can now test our swear jar. Oh, down the bottom here, I need to refresh that because what have I gone and done? We need to... Let's rerun that. To get the bar back. Because I think there might have actually been an exception, which will be caught in the logs, luckily. But okay, we've got our hello world message there. Let's... Oh, does that also mean our big chat's dead? Probably. Here it is. Yep, we lost our big chat. Sorry, guys. So something happened there when Happiest LOL player subbed. I think it was an exception inside of... Like, here we see some data coming through, but that's not our exception. Oh, I think I know what's happening. It's because I'm running it twice and they're both writing to the same file. Might have been something like that. In any case, hold on. Here we go. Let's bring up Happiest LOL player, now on the leaderboard. Thank you, dude. And the leaderboard worked. It definitely caught it. It definitely captured that and dealt with the sub. So thank you. No, man, like, you want things to go wrong as soon as possible, as loudly as possible. So I'm really glad that you did that. It gives us a good chance to test. And luckily, we've got our... Dude, Happiest LOL player, thank you for dropping 5 gifted subs to the community. That's incredible. Now a whole bunch of the people who are sitting here, like, lurking can... Dude, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And you've just jumped to the 2nd place on the leaderboard, no less. That's incredible, man. Thank you. That's incredible. And it definitely didn't create any other problems. So we didn't catch our bug, but we did get to see that you make that leaderboard jump. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thanks. We need to get this leaderboard more on screen, I think. Like here, so we can have a look at. So one thing I do want to do is like build in a configuration option to like deal with the way that this rescales. See how nice that is there when it's nice and like squashed here? I'd love to put that. I should probably just put that like up here. Should we do that? Since we have it working, we built this for my sister's stream. So my sister Fasffy has a much bigger community and, you know, she needed this leaderboard for her subathon. But what we can do is just like our own version of this. So we want to do this not on 8,000, but on port 5,000, because then that's the real one, not our development version. And then let's add it as narrow subs. Look, hold on. Maybe there is an issue with that. And I think it's this. I think it's just that. This doesn't run on port 5001 or HTTPS. It runs... Ooh, what happened there? What have I done? Oh, it did crash. It actually did crash. I don't think I can run these two things at the same time. That's probably my problem. So we can just go the 8,000 one for now. And we're going to have to mess with ports and figure things out later, but... No, I didn't lose it. Happiest LOL player. The data still persisted. So we'll copy this. We'll stuck this in the browser overlay. We'll make it nice and narrow. So its width can be like 200. And then we can stick that. Oh, it's so garish though. Isn't it a bit much? Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? Should I keep it on screen? We'll make it like 180 pixels, nice and narrow. I feel like since I can completely configure it, like I made this for I've made both of these things for other people's streams. I kind of want to keep my brand really strong throughout every element that I make, so that they all look like my brand. But I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll keep it for now since we bothered to make it. I mean, the top 3 are on the chat log. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay, there we go. It did actually and close down. So that's fair. Hold on. We can fix our chat. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen enough dev streams to know that these things can go wrong. So we're going to make that 8,000. And then there we go. We're refreshed. Can you have it pop up occasionally for a small amount of time? Yeah, that's a really good idea, Melanith. I think that's like, that would be a good thing to do. Definitely be a good thing to do, so that it's not there all the time. Like it can slide in on screen and then go away. We can get rid of the pink like stuff that we put in for Fasffy's stream. There's so many things that we can do to improve this. I'm still kind of like working it out as I go. I know that these, I think I'll eventually like maybe do an OBS integration instead, so that I'm not running like 2 applications simultaneously. I think that kind of messes with things a little as well, making the environment so complicated. Because I want to keep the stream kind of like minimalistic at the same time as, so maybe I need to just like choose where these things go. Like maybe it belongs here on the leaderboard. What are you using for green screen? I mean, it's actually just a green screen. Here, I can show you that if you want. The, if I tick that off, like this is what's happening behind the scenes there. There's actually a green screen. So yeah, it's just like a pop-up one that sits in my bedroom. But yeah, stick it back on. So was it a color key or a chroma key? It was a color, yeah, chroma key. Ah, a recommendation of brand. Ooh, Elgato is what I have. I have an Elgato green screen. Yep. And I'm really lucky. I'm living in a content creator house where there's too much of all of the kind of equipment that I could possibly need for this. So I didn't have to buy any of it. I just get it from my sister, which is nice. I honestly, happiest LOL player. I don't even know what it is. I was lucky enough to have it gifted. Sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'm never going to get a sponsorship with this kind of attitude. But at the same time, I'm not here to sell anything. So it's, yeah, man. Everyone type, dude, thank you zeros. Elgato is a good brand for sure. Okay, so see how we have this system here, guys, where we can kind of like configure our different elements, and we have this as well for our not just for our subs. We had it for our what else do we do this for the chat? I think we called it, yeah, chat. So we had all these different things where like, if you guys generate a bunch of chat messages just really quickly there we go. We've got a fast giggle from Psych. What this let us do, which I found quite useful, is we can say things like, we can customize this a lot. We can say like, we want our chat to be that color. We want to zoom them in or out. So this is like 150. We could say, we want these to run horizontally or vertically. We can turn the shadow on and off. Like anything where it's like, all right, we threw the avatar on, but maybe people don't want the avatar. We're putting all these settings in there so that we can customize stuff. All that stuff, it was built after our swear jar. But there's no reason we can't also feed all of these configurations into... Yeah, it's epic, right? Yellow Jacket. So we built all of the stuff that you see on the left here, right? We actually created a whole bunch of that. We created the whole chat system on stream here. We did most of this last stream. But my point is, we also have this cool swear jar now where we should, I don't want a pink swear jar on my stream, but I think the swear jar is a cool concept. Because apparently I've sworn 10 times. I think the last time I checked there, it was 7. And I know every time I say something like shit or fuck, it catches me. So it's probably right? There we go. Yep, caught them both. So that's working. So that's 100% working. So I do think it'd be cool to go and make a new configuration section, just like we saw here, where we're able to configure our chat messages. I want it to be possible to configure our swear jar as well. So I think maybe even using the same theme, we can draw the swear jar down the bottom, or maybe we don't bother theming it yet. We just make our own like custom. So that's the next thing to do. Let's jump into that, because I was overwhelmed by like having you guys raid, and I've been waffling for a long time and showing off a bunch of the stuff which we've made. And the fact that we just had a happiest LOL player come in here and give me some subs needed some attention. That was absolutely amazing. So thank you, dude. But let's go on and let's implement that next. So we're going to go and take, we've got our, in the same way that we've got our chat page and we've got our swear jar page, what I want to do, I think, is take this whole swear jar and make it its own component, right? So how we're kind of using, like how we're doing this architecture right now is we have this setup where in our like visual components, we have, so for instance, the subs leaderboard, it has the actual page itself, which is the URL that you route to. That page allows you to do all of the configuration, and then within it, it actually renders the leaderboard, right? So the subs table gets actually like created at the end of the page, and then when you click the link, it goes ahead and encodes a whole bunch of the URL values into the web address that's put into your stream overlay, right? And then from there, the component in OBS knows how it's supposed to look. So that's going to be the same pattern I think we should take and apply to our swear jar. Because with that, we'll be able to make our own custom swear jar or make it configurable so that you can do things like change the color of the swear jar, change the look, change the font. And at the same time, like that means if, you know, somebody has a really white and pink theme and the look of the text is good, they can keep that, or they can make the text whatever color they want. And so we kind of like offload the responsibility for making sure that the stream looks good or the component looks good to the person who implements it, right? And the same thing should be true for our, like, I think I need to go and make this like this pink color. That should be a configuration option. That might be a good place to start if we're going to use that on our stream, right? So let's head over and just as an example, let's do that to begin with, right? Because now we're using this for ourselves, I think it'd be good to configure that. Hey, Goldie, I see you're commenting on YouTube there, and it's because we've had somebody jump in. Yuval Levy, welcome, man. Welcome to the chat. We're currently making Twitch integrated tools like this swear jar that if I say shit and fuck and things that I shouldn't be saying, it will catch me. And yeah, and it'll put coins in the swear jar for me or any other streamer who wants to use this down the line. So that's what we've just been building. We're about to go make it a lot more configurable. I'm going to go add some more tools to say console.log, hello, Seb, hello, chat, fast flower. Semtex, are you still trying to inject code into the front end? It's sneaky that you're doing that. I like the idea. I like that, but you're gonna have to get really, really creative. I would encourage you to try and break it. If you can find ways to render text that breaks this, that would be fantastic. But right now, yeah, I think it's pretty solid. I think the way we've implemented this is pretty robust. If you can find ways to break it, that would work. That would be awesome for us. But yeah, it's cool to see you, Simtex. How are you doing? Man? You're so welcome here. It's good to see you, dude. Do the coins go to anything? At the moment, Jacket, they just go into that number, but it could well be like whatever people want to do with it. I'd love to potentially partner with a charity one day if this ever becomes a proper tool so that streamers can be like, you know, swearing for charity every time I say something mean, like as punishment, I have to do good with it. That would be really cool. But at the moment, it's just going to be something that people can use whenever they want to. It just triggered on one of those, like, what was it? The word proper, because we were using limericks to test this. So what was it? Yeah, proper is flagging as a swear word. We need to, yeah, it's very cool, right? It's very cool. I think so too. Okay, so getting back to it, we're gonna go and set up a new configuration option to change the color of, so we do need to run this load state thing because that will restore the last state, but not right now. And where are we at? I think the first thing I want to do is like make this subs page configurable to feed in text. Is anybody else watching Dev? I think I just heard her through my headphones, through two walls. I just heard her freak out. So something big's happening in her stream for sure. Yeah, she's going off. She's going off. She might have needed a swear jar in that moment. It's very possible. Okay, so we've got the subs overlay table. Where is I think we should use the color picker in the same way that we've used the color picker for the chat. So let's go to the chat page. And let me restart my music. Man, I'm so glad I figured out the audio stream so that I can listen to like the music I really love. From here. You know what? Override color like this. Maybe I don't even like this. Maybe I should just make the value of the color picker be the default that we want it to be. Like, what's the default for this? Because I don't like that there's that switch that you need to like turn on and off in order to make this work. If I go bring that UI up, for instance, custom color hides if you do this, but what it could do is just like default to the color that it is anyway. That might make more sense because it's taking up valuable UI space with a wasted thing. So let's refresh. What color is this? That's my question to begin with. Because we can just make it default to that color. I think that's a smarter way to deal with this instead of having a whole switch around that element. Where are we? Here it is. Mud palette primary. Luckily, we should be able to just like, I can see it there. It's 255, 255.5. So it's what? It's 255, 255, 255.5. So it's white at half transparency. So we can do that. We can do that. And while we're here, let's get rid of that switch because I don't think that switch is a good thing to bother with in our state. That can go. That switch can go. Beautiful. And then this, we don't even need our row. That makes it even nice and simpler. And then color can default to. So let's, in our brain, I think we can like, let's be a bit sneaky about this. I think I can even just like do this in my head. It's going to be FF, FF, FF. And then halfway between hex is like, it's like 6.6. Yeah. That should be the default color. And then we can simplify all of this as well. If they weren't like really simple hex codes, I would actually have a lot more trouble doing that in my, just like thinking about that and making that work. But like you can convert very easily between like, I know the maximum value in a RGB is 255. I know the maximum value in hex codes is F. And then I also know that it's like, so like this is halfway up the spectrum. These are all the way up the spectrum. So that's the equivalent of it. Okay, hold up. We've got Happiest LOL player has entered lurk mode after subbing like that. Thank you again, Happiest LOL player. It was so cool to see that. You know what? Actually, while we're here, LOL player, I am going to. What should we call him? Do I call him LOL? Let's call him Happy LOL. Or something like that. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking 12. So that should be 88, not here. We'll change that. Thank you for catching that. 88, not 66. I did see that like when we were inspecting, the value was a little bit lower. So I was kind of aiming under halfway up that spectrum, but 88 is exactly in the middle. And it's better off as like exactly half. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right, Hansblad. Thank you for speaking up there. I really appreciate that. Does the swear detect chat? A jacket at the moment, it doesn't. It could very easily do that. It could very easily be made to have like a chat swear jar and a me swear jar. And also we have this tool here where we've got our own chat tool, but we also have this. Let me show you. We also have our. We created a tool that does this transcriptions, so we can see like it creates messages for me in this chat like dialogue looking thing where it shows like all the things I say. It could be very possible for me to say my messages and your messages in the one chat log. That would be pretty cool, but it'd be like overwhelming me and then a few of your messages. Black Furry Monster, dude, cool name and welcome. It's great to have you here. It's awesome to see more new faces. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. It's awesome to have you along, man. Okay, where are we at? Glad to see JetBrains. I saw JetBrains on your stream, maybe. I saw you using, if I'm not mistaken, it was WebStorm you're using. We're using Rider. We're using the .NET version of that. So 100% great to see a fellow person who appreciates that development environment. I also really, really love it. And I advocate for it for every person who jumps in, honestly, and asks what the IDE is. So, yeah, it's cool, right? Not unless he adds in receiving chat messages and then probably them singularly. Like, yeah, we could do what Jacket's suggesting and add swear words as their own swear jar, but I mean, I talked for like 20 minutes about this, Melanith, but I actually do want to learn NeoVim. I do want to, I'm decent with Vim, but I don't know, when we're doing .NET development, especially for Unity, the integrations I haven't found really great integrations for Vim yet, but I would love to use NeoVim. I do think that it's in many ways a superior IDE despite the learning curve. So I do want to learn it too. I definitely want to learn it. But for this moment, back to what we were doing so I don't get side quested again. All right, we've got our color. We got rid of that color picker. What more do I want to do here? I think what I was aiming at doing is we should take a similar color picker and we should introduce it into our subs page. So we've got the number of rows as a parameter. The other thing that we want then is the header color and maybe even the background color. Parameter, public, string, header color. Header color will get set that, and it can be, what's it default to? Let's just make it, we should probably do a nice color to begin with as a default, but I don't know. So we remove the hash and we add the hash again, since this is a URL. It comes in as a parameter, a URL parameter, so it doesn't like hashes. So we have to remember now when we use this to append a hash to the beginning of it, when we actually go to implement that. And so then, with that said and done, we can, let's see. So these are the copy options. Where was our number of rows? Our number of rows comes through. There it is. Number of rows up here. Why was there more than one copy to clipboard? Open a new window. Copy the leaderboard to clipboard. Where is... I'm wondering why the hell we have two of these. It shouldn't be. We've got our copy to clipboard button. Oh, that's why. So what happened, what's confusing me, guys, is we actually put this in two different, we grouped it by subs. So subs goes here. Subs has leaderboard and table. And we didn't bother doing much with these, but we could, in theory, you can get a lot more information about actually what happened. We can see we had happiest LOL player gave it these 5 subs. This is all recorded in these tables in different tabs. And so that was what was confusing me. There's multiple tabs. So in this tab, we need our top 3 tab. So this is the one. In here, we have our numeric text field. We also have our copy buttons on the right there. What I would like to do there is we'll have our color picker. And this could actually get really complicated because this information is going to be shared between all 3 of them. Maybe that's actually a cool feature. Maybe that's something we want. I think that's something I want to keep. So with that said, we've got our mud color picker. We've got our color. We'll need our header color. Well, do we want a local field instead of a parameter? Yeah, I think we do. The thing with this though is why is this a parameter here if the value is being set by the picker? I think this is a mistake. Num rows here is a mistake. That ought to be somewhere else. Where is this actually used? Okay, we're treating that property and binding to that property. Where are we encoding that? That doesn't need to be a parameter though, does it? It definitely doesn't need to be a parameter. So the parameter part of this is the mistake. This can be private. This can be a field. Num rows can be a field. And I really need to update my rider rules to treat this like better. That can be header color like this as well, also private. And then this can go into our color picker, which, there it is, mud color picker, that goes there. Okay, so now we're gonna actually try and hot reload this, because this is an instance where I'm gonna be making lots of visual changes to the page, so I want like a fast feedback loop. I wanna understand what happens every time I make a change there. I want that to happen nice and quick too, so. How is things there on YouTube? Did Yuval ever reply? I see we said hi and we spoke to him, and I hope he caught me with a shout out, but I think there's a lot more of a delay between the YouTube channel, like YouTube seeing the stream and me saying things on the stream, like a lot. I'm having a quick look at it and I'm seeing that stream is like way behind. Anyway, it'll be fine. This is fine. All right, we've got our color picker now. We've got colors, defaults to white. It's pretty quiet over there, Goldie. Yep. Well, it can't be too delayed if you saw that message and respond, like you heard what I said and you responded that quickly on YouTube. Maybe what I'm seeing is delayed artificially, and maybe if you just head to the stream for the first time, it's nice and quick. But still a bit of a ghost town. I really need to, like, I don't know what to do to find an audience there. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. Okay, so now that we have this information, we can feed that through into our component. So header color can now, when we have our top subs overlay, we can feed in header color and put through header color. Though I think it's important at this point that we convert the value. All quiet on the Eastern Front. Yeah, I hear you, Psych. I'm gonna have to figure out. I think I just need to make like great YouTube videos, and then maybe the Eastern Front would become a little more lively. Header color can become so. I mean, maybe we leave it as a string, but I think maybe a value type is probably more valid here. Let's do it. Because value, like, the number of valid strings is a lot more narrow than the number of valid hex strings. And this is an instance where, like, controlling a little can really, really help. So we'll make our own hex color value type. And it's a value. Oh, please stop autocorrecting me. VALUE of, thank you, value of string. And hex color, there we go. And then even, we don't need a body right now because that's always please hot reload. And from there now, we can go hex color from, and the reason I'm doing this is because later I could actually do validation for this, and I don't want to implement that right now, but at least it tells me that it should be a type that gets controls and validation around it. The point at which something goes wrong with the way that this looks, I'll know to be able to implement something here to prevent it. Needs something to blow up. Yeah, you're right, Psych. You're absolutely right. I would love for that to be the case. So we've got our subs overlay. This does now need a parameter. So here we were saying, like, the subathon header is something that needs a parameter, and I couldn't agree more with past myself. And now is probably the time to do that Parameter, public string, header color, get set. And what did we say it was by default? FFFFFF. And then we need to remember to prepend something to that. So there's our rank 1 shimmer. There's our keyframes, our red pulse, our leaderboard title. This is where it is. Oh. So here is where we'll need to implement that. And that's probably where we'll pick it up next time, guys. So that is where we're going to pick this up next time. I know I don't like to leave something like midstream, but I also made a commitment to myself to ensure that I don't stream too late. So I need to start my streams earlier. And I also wanted to raid dev. So I think that's what we're going to be doing now. Is it's time to wrap this up because it hit 12 o'clock. Remember Goldie, where you're like, he's never going to do it. He's going to be streaming forever, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually do it. So I am going to, let's head to chat. Oh my God, it all looks broken because, like, to be fair, it actually is broken right now. Let's do this, end that, run this so that we can see chat. Can we quickly guess what it is? What are you referring to Fizz? Hold on, it has an error. Ah, nice, because you can't convert hex color to string. Of course. Hold on, this can be hex color. Let me fix this because I don't want to leave that not compiling. This can be hex color from. There we go. And then rerun that so we can have a... Can we quickly guess what it is, what today represents? I mean, sure, Fizz. I don't know if there is any special thing that today represents. Today is the day that Happy as LOL player gave us 6 subs. That was awesome. Today is the day that we had a great 2 raids and a whole bunch more follows. Dev's still gaming, so you have a little bit of time. Okay, good. I mean, not too much. Should we finish this feature off? I really don't want to... If you'd want to run people over the Discord forum. Ah, yeah. Okay. Recheck the date. It's the 22nd of the 7th. What does today represent? I mean, it's not the 4th of July. Or the 4th of May is the special date for Dev. Recheck the date. Like, May the 4th would be a special day for Dev, for sure. She'd be streaming up because May the 4th be with you. If you're a Star Wars fan like she is, it would have been that. I don't know. What is it, Fizz? Tell us. Keep me in suspense. Okay, hold on. So you're right, we have a little bit of time. I do want to run over that. I also do want to finish this feature off. So let's go and just quickly, background color is equal to the hash and the background, what's it called? The header color. I believe this is the header color. Can we inline like that? I believe no, we can't, damn it. Why is that? That's so annoying. And I don't think we can even do like this. If we could, that'd be cool. Header color is equal to that. I don't think this supports what I'm trying to do here. Oh, it does. Cool. That seems to be working fine. No, it's not. It doesn't like it. Even Ryder thinks this is weird. And it's probably right. We're about to find out. We are about to find out. Is that used somewhere? Yes, it is. Let's just quickly rerun this and see what happens. Good night, Fizz. It's your birthday! Dude, happy birthday, Fizz. That's amazing. I'm sorry, I didn't know your birthday, Fizz, so I didn't know what I was looking for, but that's amazing. Can I get some hypes and some fizzes in the chat? Some fizzes in the chat for sure. Some hypes in the chat for Fizz's birthday, and I accidentally clicked the Sly, so Sly's not around, but we've got that there too. Well, Jacket, good night, dude. Good night, sleep well. It was good to have you swing by the chat. That's awesome to see you again, dude. Happy birthday, Fizz. Very much so. Yep. 22 of the 7th is the Rust estimate of Pi or Fizz's birthday. Exactly. Exactly, Psych. I think your guess was far more technical than Fizz's, but that's really cool. That's really cool, dude. Yeah, so big happy birthday, Fizz. Okay. So, something's coming through there. I mean, it might actually be treating this as RGBA. We need to go look at that style section. Here's the style section. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Possibly just leaderboard title if we search for that string. Leaderboard title. There we go. Background color. Look at that. You can see that it actually interpreted this as a literal, not as a... That's annoying. That's not what I wanted here. Oh, hold on, hold on. That's actually not too bad. This might work if I just was doing this right. Header color like that. Quick rerun. No, thank you for sharing your birthday with us, Fizz. It's really cool. You knew I didn't know, but you wanted to put two and two together. You were building suspense there, Fizz. I see what you did. I see what you did. It's really good. And I think these things are worth celebrating. My birthday's coming up soon, too. It's the 8th of the 8th. That's actually like, what, 2.5 weeks away? And Fast says I need to do a subathon for it, so maybe I need to do that. Oh my god, it's going to be so much to prepare for. It's a lot. These are big events. I don't know if a subathon would even be worth it. I don't know if people want to do a subathon with me. They love it when Faz does it. I don't know if anybody wants to do it with me. That's a scary prospect. Okay, white's coming through now. I think now we need to just like parse that text so that... Let's see. I mean, I wonder if this is... Yeah, it worked. It kind of worked. It didn't really work. I thought it worked, but it actually didn't work. Why is it not working? It's not working because... It's not working because... Why would it not be working? Alright, quick check on that CSS name. Header color is coming through here. It's because background color is coming through as an empty string. Why would that be coming through as an empty string? If this, oh man, I thought this was going to be a quick fix so that we could quickly do this before dev was done. That gets fed through there, and where else? It needs to come through there. That seems legit. This comes through there. That shouldn't ever be an empty string, especially not when we've just made a selection like red. Background color becomes header color. Why is that an empty string? It's not even showing the hash though. Leaderboard title. Two hashes, that's why. Alright, yeah. That makes sense. So, okay, this here, we don't need to we don't need to add the hash, because once it's at this point, we know it's valid. So, no two hashes. Easy solution. That means, where were we adding it? In the styles. We were putting it in the styles here. We don't need that symbol there, and then it should be fine. And that means we do need this symbol here, and then we're good. Okay, quick rerun. I was supposed to be rating dev, waiting. Yeah. She has not ended. It's time to raid her. It 100% is time to raid her. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that as soon as this refreshes. I think it'll work, and then it's time to raid Dev, because otherwise she'll end her stream. And Goldie, she will probably wrap up real soon. Yeah, we'll have a look at the that new feature on Discord. I mean, we can probably do that real quick, right? Let's have a quick look at where should I head to check this out, Goldie? Let me just see. So I'm guessing somewhere here there's going to be a new channel, Twitch tools. Yeah. Okay. Channel point redeem. Awesome, dude. Twitch tool features. I think in general this can, I don't know if it's possible to modify this, but in general we could just like make it like ideas and feature requests might be a cool way to think of this, because this could be for anything. This could be like you know, ideas to do like a lot of people have asked for code reviews, for instance, right? Zen browser, I think, is Firefox based. Yes, Mr. Broadcaster, because Firefox is open source and they've modified it to be, click on the icon cog. Yeah, and modify it. Yeah. Gotcha. I'm going to tweak this 100% after the stream, and then we'll review it together in the next stream. And that means I can move pretty quickly onto rating Dev now. And also we can see if this is finished. I think it has. And look at that. Now we can change the top bar color, which means I can pick my cool, like, branded purple one, like that. Make it like, yeah, that's more my brand there. I think like that color, that fits our stream quite well for a good top bar. That's sick. So that feature is working. It's not going to put it in the URL yet, but that will be a problem for another time, and we can pick that up next stream. But we were hugely productive with this stream, guys. I think the swear jar is working. This is enough to start to give it to like Dev and Fass. I think it's at that point. It's actually at that point where we can say, you know, it's not so shit that we can't put this on somebody else's stream. Though the persistence, see it work there. We need to tweak it a little, but like, it's not fucked. It's not shit. It's good enough to go on a stream. There we go. Yep. It's a pretty goddamn good swear jar. Did I include damn? I think I removed damn because I thought it wasn't vulgar enough. Yeah, yep. It's still working pretty well. So that's awesome. So, okay, so let's do it, guys. It's time to raid out. Let's head to chat. Yeah. Okay, this has been a fun stream. This was productive. We set out to do something and we did it. Thank you, Goldie. You got the raid message ready. Goldie, thank you for always being such an amazing mod. It's so cool to see everyone here in the chat. I'm going to keep working on updating, like, you know, I think your idea, Goldie, about channel point redeems to change names would be absolutely awesome. We can definitely do that. Yes, that's awesome. That's really cool. Good idea, dude. All right, here we go. Let's raid Dev. DEVELIQUE. There we go. It's off. Everybody's readying up. And aren't you proud, Goldie? Aren't you proud of me? I finished this stream on, like, not at an unreasonable time. It's not too bad. I did good. And you guys can tell Dev when you're there that the stream is working pretty well. That's sneaky, Broadcaster. I see what you're doing there. Very sneaky. The swear jar is close to being ready, and it might even be ready before we do her pet feeder ideas. So it's yeah, it's been a good stream. I'm going to keep filling next stream, getting those configuration options so that we can modify that leaderboard already. I know, Gorky, I know. I'll miss you all too, but just trust me, it won't be long. I'll be streaming again. I'm just going to be streaming. I'm trying to stream at more reasonable hours. I don't know if you're still there, Happiest LOL player, thank you so much for the subs this stream. I really appreciate that. That means a lot, dude. It means the channel actually starts to make a little bit of money, and then I can do this more and more and more and more. So I super appreciate it. I appreciate everyone here for the support and for being there. Time zones suck. Yeah, they do. They do. Also, I'm just a degenerate and I like to stream really early, but that's not perfect. So, all right, we got 10 seconds left, or 5 seconds actually. 3, 2. So, a great stream. See you guys soon. There we go. And goodbye to the VOD if you're still here.